Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's Trucking Answers Live on Monday, 1 p.m. Hello, everybody. What's going on out there? Man, there's a lot of people already here. Good to see everybody. I'm glad you could all be here today, as every Monday. Did you know cold carriers went bankrupt? An astute viewer sent that to me. Cold carriers, we're going to talk about that. They went bankrupt on Friday. You know, it didn't even really make any of the news. And I didn't hear anything about it until I got told about it. So there's some other things going on. We're going to see what's happening out here. And we're going to get with everybody, and we're going to do all that. All right, so let's do it. We are here today. Michael Muller was first today. Boy, you are just on it every week, and I love it. So I hope everybody is having a good day, unless you're buried with snow. And what do you do to get your car ready? I saw you wrote in there, I'm going to get my car ready. What the heck do you have to do to get your car ready other than just drive around in the snow? All right, so GM's still on strike. Can you bypass the scales if the road's full? Holy mackerel. Truck tonnage is up again. What's going on? All right, so we're going to get back to this. I'm going to change this around over here. It's Roller Wiener Monday, by the way. Don't forget to get a roller wiener in your hand and stick it in your mouth today. It is going to be delicious for Roller Wiener Monday. All right, don't forget about it. Sometimes people forget, and they shouldn't. Every day is a good day for roller wieners, as always. All right, so here we go with this. Clicking around here. Let's see who is here today. Wild Bill's here today. Thank you for being here. Mark Ely, thanks for coming in. James Faust, it is good to see you here today. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hello, what's going on over there? Randy, the Healthy Highwayman, is here. All right. D-Boy 611. Oh, nice. I see you're in the house today, as they say. Splenda crew. All right, what's up? Louise from Des Moines, Iowa. All right. Love the videos. Thank you very much, and thanks for coming in today. Kenworth Ryder is here. Good afternoon. Yes, it's afternoon over here already. Ralph. Good morning for Ralph, though. Somebody on the other side of the coast, the opposite coast, as they say. Nathan, what's going on? The White Knight is here. Trucker Dave from Maine, actually in Pennsylvania. Hello. GT40. Hello there. James Barrett. Cars, winter tires if you live in those places, and have a nice ride. Hey, we just roll on the tires they give us. All right, Nick, what's going on? Clay is here. Josh, every day ending in Y is Roller Wiener Day, no doubt. Boy, when is there not a good day to have a roller wiener? Trucker Journeys, you got your truck back. I met with Michael Muller, really, at the terminal. Got a load to Iowa. Waiting on your load to get down to Remington. All right up the street from me. Stop by and say hello. Caleb, what's going on? Jacob. What's happening? Bobson, what's going on? First time listening from Orlando. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. I do this show every Monday at 1 p.m. live Eastern time. Because we're East Coast over here, East Side. Jackson, RC Aviation. What's the story on Coil? I don't know. What's the story on Coil Trucking? Is there some kind of story on that? They are not part of this cold climate. What did I put down? Cold carrier, that's what it's called. Bankruptcy. They have a few companies, but that's not one of them. Oh, Michael Muller, make sure everything is greased up, coolant to par, just like the beat. Oh, grease. Cars don't have any grease points on them anymore. So, and the coolant, okay, I guess we can do you do the little ball test where you float those balls in there? But there's really no grease points in the cars, really, right? The White Knight, maybe you have a pickup truck. I think they still do it. You're up to $109,000 over the road 2 years, only a storage unit, saving $53,000 a year. All right. You're doing great. You need to buy everybody a roller wiener. Wilson, keep up the great work from Pocomina, California. All right, hello. Thanks for coming in. I'm sure it's nice. It's going to be 90 here today. Record heat. I hate to say for people in Montana who are blasted with snow over the weekend. Chrome Daddy, hello. The Barbecue Trucker is here. Hello, what's happening? TJ Jones and the Bull of the Woods is in the morning time. Good morning. You're in the past. LaPorte, Indiana on the toll road from Chris. All right up the street there. That's awesome. Stop by the RV Museum. I'm going to go visit that place sometime, which is not far from there. Randall King, hello, Mark. Hey, what's going on there? Trucking Journeys is here. Did you get the hose I need? Right, let's see about that. All right, where did I go? I always lose my place. For new people, I constantly lose my place because I'm very bad at this. So please hang in there. James, sitting in Lodi, California, watching out for skydivers. Oh, my gosh, I wrote that down, too. Although I didn't have it on the original card there. You know, some skydiver was skydiving, as they do, and crashed into a truck and died. This woman died from it. So I guess you'd all say that's really bad luck, but I guess for the driver, too. Yeah, there was a big hole in the trailer, and she hit it and punched a hole in it and died. She was on the street and died. That's terrible, of course. Because wind blew her off course or something. I've never skydived. I don't I don't do it, but some people do it. That was pretty horrible, yeah. And ironically, I think that driver has to go take a drug test, right? If there was an accident or a death resulting in a death, I think he has to take a drug test. I'm not sure. The insurance hikes for carriers is one reason carriers are going out of business, says Kenworth Ryder. Insurance companies should be prosecuted. Yeah, the insurance hike is a problem. It's been $750,000 for a long time, though. What should it be realistically? $5 million. Oh, and the guy, one of the sponsors of that, one of those congressmen sponsors, did you see that they're trying to bring him up on ethics charges because he has a role in lawsuits in a legal service or whatever company that is involved in that. So they're trying to bring him up on charge. I love it. Dan, hey, from Michigan. Nick is here, not far from me, just past Lafayette. Yeah, right. Aren't I close to there? I am there. I am in Lafayette. So, yes. David from Birmingham in the UK. Well, good late afternoon to you. What's going on? What is the temp over there today? Trucking Journeys. What's up with Cold Carriers? They went bankrupt. So Cold Carriers, which is the Cold Carrier, which is the holding group for a bunch of companies, went bankrupt Friday because they're owned by what? A private equity firm. And this private equity firm went bankrupt on them. So they bankrupted this part of what they own. That's Gantt, Sunco, and Interide. Those are the three companies in with Cold Carrier. And Friday, they went bankrupt. Now, I looked all around, and there's no reports of any drivers being stuck anywhere or anything like that. Good luck getting paid, of course, but there's no report of anybody being stuck on the road. Now, I looked into Gantt earlier in the year. Not great, right? Really low pay. Lease purchase at like 90 cents or 95 cents or something crazy that you can, who would sign up for 90 cent a mile lease purchase? But anyway, these companies, they went bankrupt. So presumably that's it for them. Gantt, Sunco, Interide. It's 300, how many trucks was it? 339 trucks, 450 employees, but 339 trucks. Here again, if you're lease purchasing and your company goes bankrupt, you don't own the truck. I try to express that to people as much as I can. You're leasing the truck. You are not the registered owner of that truck. The leasing company is. So if for some reason there's a bankruptcy on the other side of it, that leasing company is going to get their equipment back from you. And your money, you have to go after the place you paid the money to, which is the trucking company. You've got a real problem when you lease a truck like that from a company. I never encourage it. I think it's the wrong way to go. And you can lose your truck and the money that you put in it, including your last paycheck, any escrows and all that. Even if you get it back, it could be weeks or months before you see any of the money back. It's a very dangerous game that you're playing just so you can have a new truck. James Faust wants to know what's going on with the scales. In California, can you bypass a scale where the road's full? Well, there was an article, they asked the California DOT about that. If we're filled up to the interstate down the scale ramp, can we just pass by the scale? And you know what they said? No. You have to wait no matter how long the line is. In fact, they said it's a misdemeanor in California to knowingly bypass an open scale regardless of how long the line is. And they said, well, that's not very safe. And the guy's like, oh, well, we try to watch the road and see, and we close the scales. Baloney, right? They'll just leave them open. Even so, no, you can't bypass the scales. Now, other states may let you, but no, California says no. You can literally be arrested for a misdemeanor. Trucking Journeys. Where do I work for those new drivers watching? Nice, yeah. I don't get that question very often from anybody, so I never say to anybody where I'm working. That's for new people that may not know from the show. That keeps them out of my videos, right? Keep your company out of your videos. I don't recruit for them either. There's a lot of people on the internet recruiting for their company. It's all they do. I think they make more money doing that than they do driving. So they take all their time recruiting. I don't. All right, so I don't say where I work, and I don't recruit for them. Let them go find their own drivers. Holy mackerel. That's the story with that. They sold your 300 TD stuff, grease nipples. Oh, okay, yeah. Your 300 TD has grease nipples. Yeah, it's 100 years old. So new cars, let's put it that way. So they don't have grease fittings on new cars. Let's put it that way. Mad Maldy is here. Hello, what's going on, Nathan? The first time chiming in from North Dakota. I don't think that's snowing over to you, though, did it? You didn't get any of that. James Fawcett said it's 90 in Alexandria, Indiana. Oh, yeah, you're not that far away, right? It's super hot out today. I had to close the back door. Cat's just going to have to watch the birds through the door now instead of having the door open. TJ Jones in the Bullywoods, it's 40 in Oregon with snow above 4,000 feet. Yikes. It's almost here. Is everybody ready? Are your grease nipples greased up? Pat Oaks headed to Columbus, Ohio to load 87 listing your Blue Parrot 350. Nice. You missed a few shows. Thanks for the work. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming into the live show and taking your time out here. A rail driver got killed checking his load by U-Haul truck. I did see that. He was checking his load. They said sometimes people are stopping to go to the bathroom, whatever. It's very dangerous to stop on the side of the road unless it's an emergency. Do not stop. A U-Haul truck went by, clipped him. He was standing by this truck, ended up killing him. To stop. Please do not stop on the shoulder unless you have to. I don't know if this driver had to stop. Don't stop unless it is an emergency. Go to a ramp. Go somewhere. Mad Mel, do you carry $1 million for hazmat? Hazmat requires $1 million, I believe. $750 on general freight, but I think hazmat makes you have $1 million. But is that enough? Is that enough insurance considering how expensive everything is? You can hit a car. I mean, there are cars for another $100,000, no problem. We were just over at the dealer because I like looking at cars. They got a Navigator in there for $89,000. People are buying pickup trucks, $75,000-$80,000 for a pickup truck. That's just what people are just driving. So is $750 enough? A couple of car accidents and you're finished. Earth Sun Trucker is here. Thank you. Potato Head is here. Nice. I hope your potatoes have not been sitting in a trailer for long. Thanks for another show. Thank you for coming in. I hope they're not rotting in a trailer. Bobson, you're the only one that can help you know a little about Davis Express and Carol Fulmer. I don't know that much about those places, really. Maybe somebody on here is working for them, though. Draco, leaving Lake Havasu, headed to Barstow. Oh, at least the weather's good out there. David Shepard, down just normal. We'll just leave that, Mark. Now, Wild Bill, we just caught that earlier. Nick, trucking, one of the recruits for his company, you need a job. Yeah, not quite. I saw a lot of Gantt trucks in southeastern U.S. Thought they were fairly large. No, Gantt had like 105 trucks. And Sunco, look, these three companies, Gantt, Sunco, and Interide, they said it's total 339 trucks. That's what they said on the article when Coal Carrier went bankrupt just on Friday. That the total between the three is only 339 trucks. So it isn't like, it's not a huge place. It's huge if you're the one working there, certainly to you. It means a deal to you, but 339, and it didn't make any kind of news or anything. So I don't know. Somebody asked me to look in a Gantt earlier. It wasn't great. So this is what happens when you run a not great place. Sometimes you lose out like that. Greetings from Jesus. Greetings from Kingman, Arizona, on your way to Phoenix. Chilling and beautiful. Nice. It's nice out there year round, right? That's not bad either. Wonderful. Trucker Hershey, your truck broke down. I saw the ABS and trans fault. Was waiting to hear. I think you're going to get towed in. We'll see what happens with that. 98 degrees in Texas. The barbecue trucker, yikes. Cook eggs outside on that. Just got a load of molasses out of Jacksport. Time to enjoy your show on the way to North Georgia. Molasses load. Wow, that's good. Is that a tank load then? Because even without baffles, that load would sit there good, I would think. But if you unplug the trailer light, no one will know. Trucking Journeys, look, I've done that. If that yellow trailer light is on out there, you can unplug the light, and that way you don't get pulled over. That's true. Kenworth Rider, 2017, Coal Carrier's hired executive from Swift. That's true. Look, that really helped them. This is the problem with having your company owned by a private equity firm that knows nothing about trucking. Here's another private equity firm that knew nothing about trucking. They just buy places, suck all the money out of them, and bankrupt them. If you're owned by a private equity firm, you may want to really consider that. Well, in other states, they have signs to bypass when full with a sign telling you where the full mark is. Trucker Hershey, I like that. If it's full past this line, go by. Exactly. For California to say it's about safety, but if you're backed up on the interstate, you just have to sit there on the interstate. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that's what the guy said. He goes, nope, misdemeanor. It wasn't even just a ticket. He's like, nope, it's a misdemeanor. We catch you doing that. Nick, I was just kidding around. You're happy where you're at. We'll definitely keep in mind Truck Journey's right. You never know. Always have a plan B. Always have a plan B. Thanks, Wild Bill. I appreciate it. I like that you added a picture there, too. I meant to mention that the other day. Michael Muller, your 100-year-old 300 TD is going to run better than most new cars. That might be true. Will that thing start? Let's ask that. I don't exactly know where you are. Will that thing start here in Lafayette at 23 below zero sitting outside? It might, actually. And you can't, in here at home, no plugging in. So it's got to sit all night, no plug in. Raining pretty hard the last few days up here in 80-94 corridor. No excuse for not getting a shower. Everybody please get a shower. In Reno, it snowed Saturday and Sunday. Holy mackerel. Comfortable man, hello. What's going on out there? How's it going? Is there a new DOT CPAP law? Not that I know of. Has the CPAP law changed for anybody? I don't think so. It's still rolled to a terminal. I agree. That tractor needs to get in and be seen by a shop. Jared, hey, what's happening today? Luke, 55 in Scranton. That's a horrible day out here. It's sunny and hot and humid out. I hope that 300 TD's got some air conditioning too, because it's hot today. Trucking Journeys. You're in Ankeny, Iowa. Love it. It's been raining since Friday, and maybe some of that will come blast over here. If you have to stop on the shoulder, use passenger side to get in and out. Barbecue truck, exactly. Yeah, stay on that side of the truck too. Climb over and get out that side. Oh my gosh. Somebody could still run into your truck, though. It's super dangerous. Like this driver, even if he stopped legit to check his truck or whatever, he got killed just to stop and check his truck. Nobody's paying attention to anything. This was in a U-Haul. Probably somebody has never driven a truck. Turn the camera view. Yeah, that big mic. Yeah, well, I got to have the big mic. If I get too far from it, people can't hear what I'm saying. Nobody can hear me. So I gotta stay close to it. Believe me, most people ask for a bigger mic. They go, can you get one approximately the size of your head? Michael Muller, time to get back to the show, to work. He's going to listen to the show. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Mark Hall's White Castle buns out of Remington. I've seen those trailers, right? And believe me, if I could get that kind of job, oh my gosh, how great would that be? General Motors, who's on strike here, Mark of Excellence. What if you run into a bunch of rally drivers in 4 Lamborghini Aventadors? You're tapped on. That is a problem. I don't know if they would rally an Aventador. I don't know about that. Maybe the Urus, right? Trucking. Could you look into Davis Transfer? Heard some good things about the equipment. Doesn't look that good. What is wrong, right? What are you saying about it? Trucker, she rolled to the dealer. It reset when it's. Sometimes you can restart them and reset all your computers. Sometimes they can just disconnect the battery and reset your computers. You were rear-ended by a trucking company. Had to have spine surgery. The lawsuit for $1.1 million. They're in the negotiation part now. GT40. Yeah, and see, look, and something like this. So if they only have $750,000 of coverage, they may go, look, we're going to write to $750,000, and you're going to have to try and get the rest of it from the trucking company. I don't think $750,000 is enough. I just don't. Is the new cap of 4.9 some weird number million, almost $5 million? Should it be that? I don't know. But I don't know if it should be $750,000. That's not a lot of money anymore. Michael, semi-truck drivers here. Good to see you. James Barrett. Just know they're nuclear war. The scales, yeah, the scales will be open. And they're saying, look, if you bypass the scale, we're going to arrest you. We can arrest you. Can I look in a Heartland Express here, good and bad? It's not going to be as great as Millis was. You mean Millis, right? Because they just bought Millis, right, if we remember that. Celadon is owned by a private equity firm. No, I don't think so. Didn't they just they got a bunch of money from them, but they didn't buy the place. But they owe they just got a $165 million loan and had a bunch of trouble. Look, they're always on the radar for me to be the next place to close. Every time I see one where somebody says, hey, check out another company closed, and they send me an email, I always think it's Celadon, and it never is. It's a tanker load of molasses for cattle lick tanks. Oh, that's sweet. So that load should sit there fine because you don't need it baffled. Holy mackerel. That'd be great. Until the wages go up, I don't think the insurance should not go up. Well, the wages and insurance, the insurance is for an accident, not for wages. So I don't know if they're two are connected. $750, right? It's just not a lot of money. If you run into a couple things, that's not that much money anymore. You will not fail a DOT drug screen if you eat poppy seeds. Okay, they did test that on Mythbusters, if you remember that one. And they did get positive for poppy seeds, but they did have to eat a lot of them. They did have to eat a lot of DOT of poppy seeds. The banning scales are not great, Caleb. They need to get a lot of trucks to hit the scale at one time and block the highway. They should, but they're saying, look, too bad. I don't think Celadon's owned by a private equity firm. Right, I'm pretty sure they have a large board of directors and are publicly, right. They're publicly traded because their stock's like $2 or $3 or whatever. I haven't looked it up in a while. But they did get a big loan. They're not owned by private equity. I'm always nervous about them. We in the UK get escorted by DVSA when they want an inspection. It's a lot safer. That's better. Oh, well, that'd be much better, wouldn't it? So they're concerned about safety is what you're saying? And is the DVSA, that must be similar to our DOT here? Oscar, good morning from Phoenix. Home now. Oh, nice. You're doing today. What's going on? Heard Knight is adding bunks to their trailer walls as well. Yeah, they're everywhere that they can. They're going to put them. I think they're going to hang them from the front of the trucks, too, that are not reefers. On vacation. Steven is on vacation for the 11 days. Wow. Watching from the comfort of your recliner. That's great. How do people get 11 days in a row off? Luke says it's Roller Taquito Monday. Holy moly. I think it's Roller Wiener Monday. What happened? Where are we getting the taquitos? Those would be any kind of rolled meat product that is heated while rolling, I think qualifies. I think that's how those qualify. CPAP is a medical doctor's decision? Yes. Explain the rule. I don't know the exact rule. When the medical doctor says you need a CPAP, you have to have a CPAP, and it has to have a certain percentage. I don't have one. I'm sure somebody on here is using one. What is exactly the CPAP rule? Did my driving test for FedEx and doing the drug test one day this week. All right. Yeah, let us know how that goes. That should be a good pay boost for you. Auto Transport Intel. Jay is here. What's going on, Jay? It's good to see you on here. Don't forget, everybody should go see Jay's show, too, as I click over to it here. Jay is live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, right on over on his channel at Auto Transport Intel. So go check him out over there tomorrow and learn about the business and get some business coaching. You probably need it. All right. Jay will hook you up with that stuff right away and some info. All right. What's going on? It's 82 in Chicago, Wild Bill, but it feels like 87. Yeah, warm out there today. I'm off today looking at GP Transco truck coming in AGT Foods and Minot. You see them daily up there. All right. And there's GP Transco. What's going on, GP Transco? It's good to see you here today. People should check out GP Transco if you want a decent trucking job at a good company with good pay. Well, they'll treat you like a professional. Check them out right here. Look at these trucks. The color just really grabs me, but that's not a reason to change. The reason to change is, look, they were voted one of the highest paying trucking companies in the United States, and people stay there. They stay for a reason. So there is that. GP Transco, it's good to see you. We're planning tomorrow's GP Transco at headquarters. We're groundbreaking. All right. So you're going to be here only briefly today. Thank you for coming in, even for a moment. I appreciate you being here. Doug is new to the channel. Thanks for coming in, Doug. I do this every Monday at 1 p.m. Trucker Hershey. You talked to a Millis driver the other day. No word on if anything changing. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of time, right? I think the changes will come next year if there's going to be anything. Wild Bell Railroad require $1 million to get in, really. So companies run a minimum $750, you can't get in. Is $1 million enough? What do people think? Is $1 million? $2 million? What do you think? Doug, great channel. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. What's the topic, Marty? I vary around here. I'm looking at this cold carrier bankruptcy. Bankrupt, Gantt, Sunco, and Interide. They went bankrupt over the weekend. More companies bankrupt, 339 trucks. But then also we read truck tonnage is up 4.1% in August over August of 2018. Tonnage is up. Tons of tonnage. Doug is going to hit the road with Swift. All right. Good job. Let us know how it goes out there. If you need a trainer, getting a trainer, it's just a crapshoot. You might get a great person. You might get somebody just started driving not long before you did. Kim passed the sell it on terminal in Indianapolis. U-Haul trucks are circling the block. Yeah, they have them stop. They're sitting there, and those got junk trucks are also sitting there just waiting. They have them on standby. They never know when they're going to need them. Is GP Transco giving out free roller wieners? I think maybe at the new terminal, we can get that happening. FedEx just called me to go for a drug test. All right, yeah, good. Get that vinegar out. I've heard a lot of good things about GP Transco. Something doesn't feel right. Like what? I mean, look, I only put them on here because I like them, okay? They don't pay to be on here, just so you know. For everybody that may be new or whatever, nobody pays to be on the show or anything like that. So I like the place. They get tons of great reviews, not just from me. So what do you think? Your roller tornadoes filled with cheese. Yes, any rolled meat product that is heated while rolling. Any circular, cylindrical meat product that is heated while rolling. Stephen Taylor, home time plus my week of vacation time. Oh, all right. Potato Head, Celadon has no filings with SEC. Are they traded stock? They are traded stock. I don't know what the letters are. It is traded. Maybe somebody can look and put what they're trading at right now. David, DVSA is the same as your no queuing. Oh, I see. All right. Got it. Name's Faust. Cat break. Yes, we can do a Bridget break. How about that? Meet Bridget. There is Bridget. And who is not happy about that? Gracie. She's not impressed. So there you go with that. Right. They're working on getting along. CPAP, they won't give you a DOT physical without 17 days of use. All right, is that one thing of it? Yeah, but your doctor's the one that determines that, right? Your doctor determines who has that. A lot has changed since you drove back in 2000. Exactly. At least you were a driver. Okay, so you're going to do fine with your trainer, even though they make you go to the trainer. An old CF driver, carry some strands of copper wire to jump current on your pigtail. Take care of lights till you get to a garage. Wow. I would say, right. GP Transco says give him a call and you can ask questions about anything. And I've had many people write to me that say absolutely, they write to me on the side and say this place answered all my questions. So yeah, absolutely call them up. GM, the mark of excellence. Think of it this way. My personal 5,000-pound SUV has the highest amount of insurance you can buy. I don't want to be caught with your pants down. $1 million. Woo, for 80,000-pound semi is nowhere near enough. I don't think $1 million is enough anymore. It just isn't enough. I think it should be higher, but is $5 million too much? Steven has drives for Millis and nothing has changed yet. So nothing changed. But they said, right, the completion of the purchase is not until the end of the year even. So if nothing else, that's why I'm saying it's not going to be till next year. They said, look, we're not even going to complete this. I assume it's not just like somebody writes a check and then somebody writes on here, I hereby sell at Millis Transfer as is with no warranties, and they give it to you. I assume it's more than that, right? CPAP, they won't give you a detailed physical. Right, you have to use it, but I don't know. What are the other rules with the CPAP? DeWalt is a good family-owned company, and Chino Valley, been with them 3 years. What is two good things about that place? Why should people call? Being family-owned, that doesn't prove anything. England is family-owned. Oscar, I run on 1 million auto, $250,000 cargo. If they change that from 1 to 5 million, all owner operators will go bankrupt. I agree with you. I don't think it should be 5 million. What would it cost to get 2 million? I mean, is $1 million enough? Is $1 million enough? An accident, you can go through $1 million pretty fast. Michael, I think CPAP shouldn't count neck size as significant as they do because some of us used to be active, lift weights, and used to exercise. I think weight and fat should be significant. I totally agree. And it's companies that do it. It's not a CPAP thing because look at my company, it's not a neck size thing. It's up to the doctor. So, but it's some companies that have a certain neck size, they're giving you the CPAP. It's crazy. That doesn't prove anything. Like they said in that, Schwarzenegger, when he won Mr. Universe, would be on a CPAP for having too big of a neck. Because you have a big neck, that doesn't mean anything. Maybe you just got a big neck. Maybe your head's gigantic and needs a bigger neck to hold it up. I don't know. Dwayne, hello from Louisiana. It's good to see you. WV, hello there. What's happening? But I would love, where'd I go here? What's happening with outrageous speed limit in the desert in California? 55. Can we get some help out here? That law is outdated. I know. They said they're not going to change it. People have commented on it many times. California said absolutely not. It's sticking with 55. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Okay, they're trading at $1.30 at Celadon. Sweet. That's down. It was 2 something. And so if it was 2 something, it could be down as much as half. Wow. Trucker Hershey insurance goes up. Won't freight rates go up to cover that? Or no freight moves? That'll teach them. That's true. Freight rates would have to increase. Companies would have to increase their rates. Yes. The Bull hauling Bulldog. Nice. Going to stop hauling cattle and go to work for Swift. I should be the new VP in 2 weeks. Yeah, if you stay there long enough. That's what I say. You can be the CEO of any of these companies if you just stay a few weeks. JJ Hampton. Smoking is more dangerous than CPAP. Can black out due to lack of oxygen when coupling for coughing. Yeah, look. You can smoke all you want. They don't say anything about that as long as your neck is a certain size. The neck size shouldn't prove anything. How is that a medical diagnosis of anything? The guy that made Thor's hammer, he built the roller wiener machine. Yeah, they're indestructible. GSX are nice. Greetings. Cruising down to the border to get cattle. Haven't worked a Monday in months. Oh, nice. What are those? Do those cross the border literally? James, beautiful cats. You rescued 2 Siamese. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Gracie is our cat, and Bridget is a friend's cat who is currently overseas on a mission trip. And so we're watching her cat while she's gone. So that cat will be here, and Gracie is certainly not impressed with it, but we're going to work it out. Otherwise, she would have had to give her cat up. Okay, and so I can't have that. We're going to give her a cat back, and that'll be that. On CPAP, Med Doctor will give you a 60-day card. You'll need 70% use. You love it. Does it make you feel better? Look, if you need it, it might be the best They might be the best thing for you. But that should be between you and your doctor, you know? That shouldn't be between you and anybody else. Just you and your doctor. Not up to your trucking company, your DM, or anybody else in the trucking company. The mechanic, nothing. The barbecue trucker had a roller machine given to me and used it at a catering event last weekend. Kids loved it. I know. Who doesn't love it? I cooked them in the smoker and kept them warm on the rollers. That's nice. Oh, that is super good. You kept them on the... You cooked them... So these are smoked roller wieners? Boy, these are some classy roller wieners, certainly. You got the best roller wieners going. Kids love them. Celadon is a junk stock. Yes, that is true. But it's still publicly traded. Test the spirits that we need our lobby in Washington, like OIDA. I mean, currently that's the only way that's the only thing we have right now, right, is OIDA. If anybody has any better deal for drivers or any better way, I'm in. But until then, I don't know. You should join. I'm a member. I'm a dues paying member. And so I think you should join. Or I wouldn't join, but I do think you should be a member. There's no other better way to do it. Who's going to be at DC, 10-4 DC this week? It's going to be Friday this week. They're going to be in Washington. They're going to have a bunch of trucks there. Supposedly they have over 100 trucks that are coming for the weekend. Talk to congressmen and stuff. Who's going to be in on any of that? No, Wild Bill. One is long-haired. So you have one long-haired and one short-haired Siamese. That's awesome. I heard that they are kind of weird. Do they only like you or do they like people? I'm not sure. Of course, my cats, when somebody comes in, they are gone. Bobson, I have orientation with Carol Fulmer Wednesday, but I don't know anything about the company. Well, let me ask you just a general question to help other people. Why would you sign up for a company and have an orientation with a company that you don't know anything about? This is your whole, future, your paychecks, your insurance. I have on my website, you can go on there. There's questions to ask. I show people how to check them out on their Safer Web, stuff like that. What exactly brought you to go to Carol Fulmer over anything else if you didn't know anything about them? I'm curious about how they get somebody in if you really don't know anything about them. What have you heard of anything about NTB? I haven't heard anything about NTB. Company says up to doctor, good, and they'll buy it if your doctor says you need it. That's how it should be. JJ Godfrey, right. It should be between you and your doctor. If he says you need it, that's it, fine. If not, forget it. It's not up to your dispatch or anybody else. Wow, Bill, your ego is huge. You need a big neck to hold up your head. Exactly. What if you just got a big ego? And you're like, hey, my ego's so big, I got to have this kind of neck. Do you have an email so we could send pictures to? Yeah, do I not have that up there? Yeah, it's right there on the screen, right? It should be showing on the screen. So there you go. Hey, Mark, it's Todd. What's going on, Todd? 2016 International, 379 Pete, 48-foot and 53-foot trailers. Tri-state home every other week for 3 days. 1 week paid vacation. They like pets. And 2,500 miles a week. All right. People love those long Pete's, don't they? Cat CPAP per. Yeah, that's the best way to do it, right? Cat sleeps on top of you. You're sleeping. They literally cross the border, and loading chutes are 100 feet from the border fence. There's a big gate they open once a day and bring them across. That's pretty interesting. Oscar, I agree with Mark. You stay there long enough, you might move up in ranks to a new trade. Yeah, if you stay at one of these, mega carriers long enough, you can be the CEO. Of course, I don't know what good it'd be the CEO of Celadon. The stock, I'd go for stock, options and get the stock up to $3 and cash out. How about YRC? I'm new with them and I'm liking it. The line haul. Yes, Cash is King Trucking, who's not been in here yet today, changed over and went to line haul and is doing videos about it. I don't know where he is. He didn't say where he was, but YRC would be the same kind of thing. Line haul, that's going to be the best thing. You're going to get paid for all your time. That's the whole goal. It's just to get paid for your time. Luke, I might be getting a dedicated run soon from Pennsylvania to West Virginia to North Carolina to Maine. Wow. At least you know where you're going. What do you think, though? We can't get people to do dedicated runs here. Right. We're not getting into that one. Info on Titan. I have nothing on Titan. Any info on Martin? I did a video about Martin. I liked Martin. Cindy, drive safe heading to the border. Yes. Be careful down there. Jeffrey, shout out from Boston, Massachusetts. Just told a Western Express certified trainer. Oh, how do you know he was certified? 6 months to not block the interest of the shipper. Do they have a shirt or a patch or something like that that, it's a certified trainer? I love that. These companies give out all these patches. I saw a Schneider driver had so many patches, I thought he was going to blow away. Nathan, you mentioned high pay in the oil fields of Texas. Yes, I think they pay the most, right? I've been running up here in the Bakken oil patch for a dozen years. I would never go back to ODR again. How's the pay? Would you say the pay there is better than average? Mad Maldy, when my company doctor tried to put me on a sleep apnea machine, I demanded a second opinion. Among with the help of your safety manager, you got a second opinion and a 2-year card. That's great. Most companies are not on your side on that. I'm glad that they were on your side. Congress is on a 2-week break. Great timing. Isn't it great? Oh, by the way, there's 4 administrators at FMCSA, top administrators. None of them have ever driven a truck or have a CDL. You should put comments on slow-mo that we have more time to comment. I'm on a delay. That's why I'm a little bit behind. NBP pulls a lot of Kroger loads. Mark, one thing I like from your show, even though you take time, but you read all the comments, I like it. Good job. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I try to get to most everybody here. Jay James, what's everyone doing for exercise? We all know that sitting in these hours is not good for you. Many of us change our minds regularly. That takes time. So there's always that. There's walking from the sleeper to the front. There's that also. J.J. Hampton, I think anybody in the DOT that makes laws regarding required to have drive a truck for a year, look, they should at least have some kind of license. But then again, this is our problem. We elect people that appoint all these administrators, and so we don't elect the people that are going to appoint the proper people. And then we get people in office that don't have any idea what they're doing. Which companies pay hourly? A lot of companies do pay hourly. I found one so far, JAT, that pays hourly over the road. So hourly plus overtime, which I thought was really good to pay that over the road. A lot of places are hourly. I know that YRC, I think, line haul, and we can get this corrected if I'm wrong. It's mileage plus hourly, right? On line haul, you get mileage for some things and hourly for the time that you're working, right? So if you break the doubles apart or whatever, that pays hourly. Fueling pays hourly, that kind of thing. And insurance there is free, right? I think health insurance for the driver doesn't cost anything. Maybe the Schneider driver can't afford a new shirt and he keeps patching up the same one. Yeah, this is one of those fancy Schneider jackets or whatever, and he had patches down the whole side. They give you a safe driving award there, at least from these patches, every 100,000 miles. So he had tons of patches all over the place, which is great. But, holy mackerel, can we cut down on the patches? Jeez. I bet he walks around the terminal and people have to salute him. Todd, hey Mark, it's Todd on your way to Petro and Effingham. You're always on the way to the Petro and Effingham, my favorite Petro. WV, Border Patrol going to be at the border with the cattle. You're checking the cattle for drugs. Where are they checking the cattle for drugs? Looking for the green cards and asking if they're U.S. citizens. Yes, and they're going to ignore them and say, the cattle are going to say, I'm not going to answer that question. I prefer not to answer. That's what that guy said. Nathan, you work 20 days on and 10 days off. Even if you're 10 days off, they pay you for 6 hours, you still get a paycheck. I average 160 grand a year. You could start at 120 grand. Okay, that's pretty good, considering you're off half the time. Do they give you a place to stay there as well? I know some places have a place to stay, or what would be the story of someone coming there and having a place to stay? Okay, so it's hourly plus mileage plus overtime. Yes, but pretty much you could say most of your time, nearly all of your time is paid, which is how you make money. Truck stops need exercise equipment. They had this years ago. Rolling Strong, wasn't that what it was called? Something like that, where some truck stops put gyms in and you could become a member, and nobody joined. They didn't have anybody do it. So the truck stops took all that stuff out, and because there wasn't anybody doing it, and they put in extra roller wiener machines. Tommy Reed, Mark is the best steward for the trucking game. Oh, thank you very much. We'll see about that. The barbecue trucker says the oil field pays great, but when they're done, it's over. I've been laid off 3 times working the oil field. Look, that's any job. Look at these drivers for Cold Carrier. They went bankrupt Friday. They're out of work too. There's no security in any job. Anytime you depend on someone else for a paycheck for you, you have no security. People think you're getting a secure job. No security at all. Any update on the 65-mile-an-hour law? No, nothing yet, although it's in a bill that may pass. We'll see where it goes, though, when they come back. Southwark Metal has 9 plants, and they pay hourly. Are they local? I'm paid until 15 minutes after checking into a hotel. Also overtime after 10 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. UPS pays hourly. That's true. They're going to be, I haven't seen their ads yet, but they're going to be running ads in Indianapolis and presumably around the country at $30 an hour. GSXR, they sit at the gate when they cross. They have to cross a health inspection, but that's about it. Really? They have to pass a health inspection. All right. Do they have their green cards like tagged on their ear? Trucker Hershey, some truck stops do have exercise equipment. Never saw it being used. Exactly. And there was a gym. It was like a national, they started putting it in at TAs, it seems like. Rolling Strong, something like that. And nobody used it. So, checking in late from Denver on home time. Oh, all right. What's going on? Did it snow in Denver yet at 5,000? Because they had that big snowstorm. We used to call them, back in the day, we used to call them patch babies. Oh, really? I never had a name for them. Right. That's great, though. For $160,000, you'd stay in a tent. That's true. You could actually afford your own place, but I'm just wondering because I know people will ask, a lot of these oil field places do provide housing. Nathan, they have a housing allowance of $1,400. Oh, but I live here raising your family. All right, you're already there. Well, $1,400 a month, you can get a place for that. Even if you had to commute in a few hours to somewhere that was a little bit lower cost, you're out 20 days. So absolutely, $1,400 a month. And that's pretty good. Who's in for that? Ryan made it back from Boise, Idaho to Durant, Oklahoma. Turn around, hit it right back over there. I love dedicated runs. Isn't it great? I always encourage a dedicated run. You'll know how much you make each week. When you work hourly, the only security you have is 15 minutes you worked. Exactly. No matter how you work, hourly, mileage, it doesn't matter. Factory, it doesn't matter. A paycheck is not security. People always think, oh, it's safe. It isn't safe. You'll never get anywhere being safe. And taking a check, it's not like it's safe. These guys at Gantt, they're laid off. Oh, what about all the Plymouth manufacturing people? Craig says mark in 2020. That would be really something. See myself on a bumper sticker. Some have a walking path route, usually around the outside of the lot. They'll give you a map. I have heard about that. I haven't seen one yet. That you can walk in and go, hey, you got a map of a walking path? Now, does it describe on the path where you may get mugged or not mugged? I would like to know if you may get knifed here, so turn left. There's a gun over here. Right. Just wondering about that. Because the walking path is like a map for people to arrest to, rob you. The guy in charge of filling the roller winner machine has job security. That's the only guy that actually has job security. As long as there are truck drivers, that guy's got a job. Or women. I think that's a job a woman could do too. Hello, Mark and drivers. Good day. Trucking on I-85 in Northeast Georgia. All right. What's going on down there? Randy walks 30 minutes a day. That's at least something that I think everybody could do. Roll off 10 hours at least, right? So you can get out and walk 30 minutes. You may have to zigzag depending. Like if you're in West Memphis, maybe you might not want to do it. James, hello, Mark. Love the Monday show. Thank you. Just graduated from trucking school. Got your CDL in California. All right. Not sure to start over the road or local. What do I recommend? It depends what you want to do. There's no better way to do that. What do you got a family? You want to be gone? What do you want to do? What do you want to do with yourself? Are you young? Are you 70? Don't know. Schneider 100. What do you say? Schneider 100,000 mile safety bonus is a coupon for 79-cent soda at the Circle K. Hey, and they don't have to hand many of those out either. Need flags on jacket and you'll salute. I know. I mean, I saw this guy walking around with all these stickers. I thought, what do they do? Do people have to stop at the terminal when he walks in or something like that? They have to call everybody to look at him. Stay in a tent in the winter in North Dakota for $160,000. You might buy a van with a heater in it. I'll tell you that. Just let it run all weekend. The TA in Wyoming off of I-80 has a few treadmills. Do you ever see anybody using them? JG, you want to go over the road? All right, let's do it. Let's get that. You say over the road. Why though? Why over the road? I could not use the gym at the Metro because I got tied up in the line at the buffet. You were too long of a line. I just didn't have time. At least you got to always choose which one's better. Do I remember the old blue and white truck stops here in Indiana? Yes, I do remember blue and whites. So that's been a while since I saw one of those, though. When was the last one? Was that place at the 230? Which is now a Love's, or the TA? I think the TA on that side, wasn't that originally a blue and white? The 230 on I-65 many years ago. I do remember remembering the sign, though. Yes. Shout out to the chiropractor at the Petro in Scranton. Okay, so it's nice. Does your insurance cover that? 80s in Denver with wind. Okay, supposed to be colder, so they didn't get down to you. When it's minus 60, you don't want a tent. You're going to need to stay a little warmer. How long do I think trucking will be around, SBO? For a long time. If we're talking about these self-driving trucks, it's going to be some time for that. So there will always be drivers, though. Oversized loads, local routes, and that. All of us watching this will be dead before trucks can go down through a major city and navigate themselves all the way to a delivery point and then just wait there for somebody to open the doors, or they'll have a roll-up door on it. Tesla just this weekend or last few days released the summon feature for their cars, which will come to the semis as well. So you can open the app on your phone and say, okay, come over here, and you hold the button and the car pulls itself out of its parking spot and brings it over to you. I don't know how much more lazy we can get. I can't even walk to my car in the parking lot. I'm going to have the car come to me. Either way the car comes to you, they've had a ton of crashes already. People have been posting about all the crashes. The car can't even navigate a parking lot of other stopped cars. One guy, that car crashed into his own garage wall. I couldn't even figure that out. We get a long way before trucks are able to drive themselves safely around the roads. It's years, decades. Wild Bill remembers a blue and white north of Indy. Oh, yeah, maybe one of those was a blue and white. There was one up there, maybe. Was it the one at the 158 in Frankfurt? Was that a blue and white to start with? Arc of Excellence, what's the alcohol law? If you're in a sleeper berth off duty while on your break, is alcohol allowed in sleeper? Guy asked me, I said it's probably best not to do it. No alcohol in the truck. No alcohol in the commercial vehicle. And look, tell him to go to a meeting. You do not want to, and you are right. It's best not to do it. Do not bring that in the truck. Don't have any alcohol in the truck. A friend of mine went to orientation at Maverick. They measure your neck. If you're over 17, you have to have a doctor's statement as to whether you need a CPAP. That's crazy. See, that kind of thing is crazy. I've heard a couple other things about Maverick, too. I don't know what's going on over there. The contract's 2 years now. Contract at Maverick. Is anybody at Maverick? Is the contract 2 years now at Maverick for their contract? I mean, they can't hide behind this $1,000 guarantee and then hold people for 2 years and then do this other stupid stuff. James, hey, what's going on from Bay Ridge in Brooklyn? Hey, what's going on with your thin pizza? How's it going? Thanks for being here. No, South work, home every day. Home every other day. Home weekends. Plants out Piedmont in Indianapolis, Philadelphia, Nebraska, Idaho, and Phoenix. Holy mackerel. If you're exercising West Memphis, you should run. Maybe that would be good exercise. The question, yeah, you take bets. Can I walk in and get back to my truck without being harassed, mugged, shot, stabbed? Yeah. I know there's some trucks that don't even allow you to park there. Some companies say you can't park in West Memphis. Trucker Hershey, you're not even allowed to have Listerine in the cab of your truck. Wow. Who's not allowing Listerine? Because of the alcohol content? The Schneider driver with the patches may buy them from other drivers for a wiener. Well, that might be the truth. I'll give you a wiener later if you give me your patch. Okay. The filthy wheels are all closed in Canada, all closed up in Canada, Ontario. Happy Monday. I'm in FedEx ground system running team. All right. However, I need help to find the best of the best. Recommend for FedEx ground contractor run. Well, in a certain city with just FedEx, I mean, what are you getting there? You're not going to do too much better than that running Team FedEx, right? I just can't resist. Who do I drive for? Just kidding. Yeah, nice. Go walk around the Whittier truck stop in Pennsylvania. Is it just like that? I had an awesome bowl of soup, grilled cheese sandwich at the Blue and White on 70, 30 miles west of Indy in 1994. Okay, so everybody's remembering these Blue and Whites. Let's see if I can find a picture of one. I'm thinking the Blue and White west of Indianapolis on 70 was the last one when it burnt down. Why does Indy have all the truck stops burned down? Has Freightliner fixed the automatic braking system that slams on the brakes on ice to try to kill you? No. They say that's how it's supposed to function. Don't you love it? Now, what you should not do, and is take like a piece of aluminum foil that is slightly larger than the sensor and tape it to a piece of cardboard, okay, and wrap all that up with black Gorilla tape, and then tape that to the sensor with black Gorilla tape that matches the color of your bumper. You should not do that because it would stop the thing from working, and then it wouldn't slam the brakes on in the wintertime. So be sure not to do that. And I'll tell you, if your company ever found that, if you're a company driver, they would probably fire you for it. So don't do it. I say over the road because he's going to need an experience of a chance of an accident. If you're local, you do a lot of back in and all that right away. Yeah, look, my first job was driving was local. I just want to know, what does he need? If you have a family, you got a bunch of kids or whatever, I don't think you're going to want to go over the road. We'll see. Wasn't the Whitestone exit on 65 20 miles north of Indy? I'm thinking that's what I thought, right? Somewhere up there, one of those was a blue and white. Didn't you go back and forth there all the time, Wild Bill? You would remember that, right? Hello, any recommendations for the best of the best? Right, ground contractor. I don't know. What are you getting there? Did you hear about the rail driver who was hit by the U-Haul driver? Yes, we talked about that momentarily. There was a rail driver, flatbed driver, got out to check his load and got hit by a U-Haul that wasn't paying attention, and it killed him. Now, I don't know why he was getting out, but just as a general rule, unless your truck won't run or it's some kind of an emergency, like your load's falling off the truck or something, you should go at least to a ramp, get off of the highway. People are not paying attention. This driver lost his life. Maybe the truck stopped or whatever. That's one thing. But just in general, do not stop on the interstate. Don't take a break there. Don't go to the bathroom there. Don't do any of those things there. Please get off the road. It can cost you your life. Nathan, you have to be flexible up here or work for a wireline company and do everything from driving a 50-ton crane, wow, to a 1-ton pickup with a gooseneck to jumping in a crew and setting up explosives. Holy mackerel. Luke, my brother asked me to pick him up a special beer from another state and I transported it. Even if it's sealed, I wouldn't put it in the truck. I just would not have beer anywhere in the truck. I would have put it in the trailer. But then you need a bill lading for it. Just mail it home. Really. I mean, seriously, have it sent to him. Who do they give the ticket if you get in an accident when the car's driving itself? Oh, that's interesting, JJ, because somebody wrote that in a tweet to Elon Musk. They said, look, I wasn't driving the car. Who gets the ticket? I need help. They wrote that to him in a tweet. Well, it turns out you are responsible for the car and all of its movements. You initiated the car to move, because if you take your finger off of there's a button on the app. So as soon as you let go of it, the car stops. So everything that the car's done is up to you. It's your responsibility. You initiated it. It continues to drive. You're supposed to be watching it at all times. It's you still. Even though you weren't driving, you are still responsible. Yes. My application at Maverick has been pending for 2 months. Recruiters won't return your emails. I don't understand it. Do they not want people? I don't like this 2-year contract for new people either. I'm not saying that's you. But this CPAP thing now, I mean, they're aggravating me. Trucker Hershey, you cannot have it. They can't put it in the trailer, but still get in trouble because it's not in the bills. So if they get in the trailer and see beer that's not in the bills, you have a problem for hauling alcohol. You're better off spending $10 and having it mailed to them. Shipped. Penske in Atlanta checked my son-in-law's neck, over 17, so he's on CPAP. Been with Penske for 11 years, safe driving. Well, does he need the CPAP, though? I mean, is it helping him? Or did they just put him on it as, a waste of time? Because some people it helps, some people that need it, absolutely, they get a better night's sleep. But if you don't need it, it's just a waste. The Barbecue Trucker Swift Recruiter sends you emails every week telling you to have a good weekend and looking forward to working with me. BTL has probably been, I don't know why them, they've been the most aggressive in trying to get me to come to them. I get a call at least once a week from a recruiter. Hey, you're set up for orientation next week. Just let us know. And it's been probably a year since I called them or close to it. CPAP, now you're causing everybody to slow down and bunch up, stopping on the shoulder. That's true too. People don't get over. They get over. It's super dangerous, Rhino. I hope, is your truck fixed? What's going on with that? But it's super dangerous. It is super, super dangerous. And this driver lost his life to check his load. And I don't know what was wrong with his load. He may have had to stop. Maybe it's coming off. Who knows? I don't know that part of it. But if your load is not falling off, you're not on fire, the truck is running, and you're not on a super single that's got a flat, please continue to a ramp, to an exit somewhere. Get off of the interstate. It can save your life. Nobody's paying attention to anything. New California smog law, emissions deleting will be detectable. Yes, it will be. They can do that now partly. But in the new law, it will be detectable. You'll not be allowed to do it. You can't do it now either legally. But they'll be able to detect it better because they're going to plug in your truck. Absolutely. It was the Whitestown exit on a 65. The next truck stop was the 76 when running. Yeah, I thought you came down there more often than me then at that time. Yes. The driver is driving through the 15-mile one-lane construction zone, holding everyone being a jerk or being safe. If the hound dog, the driver, if he's found the speed limit, that's the speed limit. I mean, you can't ask somebody to do something illegal because you're being held up. So let's say that if he's going the speed limit, then fine. That's all we can ask him to do. I tell people, don't ever run over the speed limit. Don't, run legal. Mad Maldy, last week you lost a coolant hose. It was creating a lot of smoke from under the hood, I bet. Steam, right? I thought the truck was on fire. This happened on 465 exit 8. Well, for that, okay, a bunch of smoke, steam, you got to stop. I get you. But this driver, we don't know why he stopped. So this, okay, you got to stop. But as soon as you figure out what it is, well, without coolant, I guess you're not going anywhere. So there's nothing you can do about it. But keep that to a minimum and get out of the passenger side like that was said earlier, and, you're going to get killed out there. It's tampering with safety equipment. That's covering the braking sensor. First offense, lose your safety bonus. Second is termination. Oh, absolutely. I'm sure that any company would have that kind of policy. They may terminate you right away. Absolutely. You're covering the sensor. That's why I said don't do that. Don't take these steps to wrap aluminum foil and tape and put it on a piece of cardboard for strength and then tape it to the front of that sensor. Absolutely don't do that kind of thing. It's going to stop the truck from applying the brakes in the wintertime on ice. You don't want to do that. You want it to slam the brakes on for you. They should call the fifth wheel the 19th wheel. Oh, like golfing. Super good. Well, that's a truckload of crap. Self-driving vehicles, a passenger gets a ticket for what it does. Well, you're the one that comfortable, man. What they're saying is that you're the one in control of this. You don't have to have it self-drive. You can actually walk the 20 feet over to your own car and get in it. Or as soon as you let go of the button, it stops. So you are totally in control, and you're supposed to be in control of your car. There's no law yet that says your car gets to drive itself around. And it turns out the cars are bad at doing it even in parking lots. They can't figure it out. They're crashing into cars. There's pictures of them going the wrong way down the aisles. It's a mess. It's a total mess. I don't know why he releases this stuff, just so everybody can test it, presumably. But these drivers that were driving the cars, they're going to be responsible if their car was the one responsible for the accident. He uses CPAP every night and goes to sleep in minutes, so maybe it's helping him. For him, it probably is helping him. But that still shouldn't be a decision that your company makes. It should be a decision your doctor makes, not you're mandated to do it, but let's see what a doctor says. And if the doctor's an independent doctor, not one that the company pays or whatever, right? An independent doctor that you get treatment for says it, then I'm in. Self-driving truck, no human in it, who gets the ticket? That is going to be another interesting thing that they're going to have to work out in regulations, right? And because if there's nobody at all in it, who gets a ticket? Well, nobody will get a ticket, presumably, because the truck's always going to follow the law. We'll see. The makers of the car. Okay. I don't know about that, though. Will it be the makers of the software? Have to check in at 150 miles, should go to the off-ramp. Yes. If you need to check your truck, unless it blew a coolant hose and it's smoking everywhere, please get off of the highway. Do not get killed. It isn't worth it. Does Schuster have the brake assist on their trucks that brakes if you're following too close? Probably. They have pretty new trucks. Most new trucks have that kind of thing. I don't know if Internationals have it, but likely. There's probably somebody on here from Schuster. Semper Fido, good afternoon. What's going on? What do you think about the super singles where one goes and then it takes out the other? Recent video of a tanker with both of his trailer tires out on the right side? Yeah, I know. That's certainly a possibility, right? I mean, what can we do about it? I've had that happen for regular ones. I blew the tire, and for some reason the front, and it pulled the mud flap angle iron into the back tire, and it blew two outside tires. Now I couldn't drive because of the mud flap angle thing, but otherwise you could drive somewhere. I totally agree. Oscar, Miss Crap Company of the Week. Yes. It's too bad that it can't come back. In the last 2 months at Schuster, average length of all 500 mile loads of 1,000 miles, 3 days till appointment. Nice people, but not a happy camper. What do they do? Do they not have any freight over there? What are we doing? Amanda from Ringgold, Georgia. What's going on? Hello. Thank you for coming in. Marty, I'm looking at VMAX motorcycle. What about a Tesla motorcycle? Well, if you don't mind plugging it in. Josh, the driverless truck, whoever sent it out will get the ticket if it gets one. That's interesting. Who will get the violation in an accident? That's what's happening with these cars in the parking lot. There's tons of pictures of it already. He released it like late last week or over the weekend, this software update, and people are using it and watching their cars crash into a bunch of other cars in parking lots. International does have it, and it's horrible, says K. Wayne. All right, so it's the same as the Freightliner, because I'm running a Cascadia here. Same thing. Tape it up and don't get fired over it. Certainly. Don't do it. I'm just telling you, this is what you could do, and so be sure in case you start doing it, you're like, oh, wait, I forgot not to do this. So be sure not to do it. Long to see the day when an autonomous cop pulls over an autonomous truck. Yeah, I don't know. They haven't said how they're going to pull the vehicles over. What's going to happen? I think they're going to have to communicate with it. They'll be able to hit a button in the police car, which will tell the truck to pull itself over. The last blue and white was at the 55-mile marker on I-70. When did that close? Some time ago, right? Comfortable man. Some drivers have no respect for anyone stopped on the side of the road. Seen many drivers too close to stop vehicles. Yeah, especially if there's room to get over. Why are we not getting over there? Now, this was a U-Haul, so who knows, when how much experience they have. James Faust says that was torn down in 99. Oh, did they really last that long? That's pretty good. Amanda is waiting for a trainer. Are you waiting for a female trainer? Hypothetically, if you are winter driving and your auto brakes lock on causing you to crash and get injured, who's liable? Can't you sue? No, probably not. I mean, you'd have to get a lawyer. The problem with suing for something like that is you have to show a design defect. And then I have to say, I'm not a lawyer, okay? So this is not legal advice. But you'd have to be able to come into court and show a defect. And it's not like the company's going to roll over on that one. They're going to bring in structural engineers, mechanical engineers, lawyers and everything and say, no, these look at millions of miles, look at all these people. And so you're going to have to show a design defect in the equipment. You'd need big injuries to get a lawyer to take that kind of thing on, because it's not going to be like a small case. It's going to be a huge case. So could you sue? You can always sue anybody. But would you win it? I don't know. That would be a really tough one to win. Everything in Indiana is 2 for 1, even blowouts. Yeah, we even give you a double blowout. Jimmy, why can't that come back? That was great. Yeah, it didn't work out, and companies got a little bit gripey about it, so I had to change the wording a little bit around in it. Rhino, all good under warranty. Got 2 new axles, 1 size up, new mount plates, new bolts, new shocks, wow, alignment. Getting it to the place I bought it, and also through the set of tires. Wow, man, you almost have a new truck over that. Rote and I are covered everything. Good. This is heading for another robot show. Oh, yeah, there'll be a robot doing this show on Mondays. How is the cat doing? The cat is doing great. For new people that haven't seen, there's Bridget, the new cat, who gets fed separately on the cat tree because, Gracie is not impressed with what is going on, certainly. But she'll get over it eventually, I think. They'll become friends. We'll see how it goes. Hello, everyone. Sorry you're late. Cash is King Trucking. I mentioned to you earlier. How's it going over in the line haul world? Some people were commenting about line haul, and what do you think? How's it going in line haul land? The discussion is moot on driverless trucks. The liability is not going to have a brain setting in the seat. Is too great not to have a brain sitting in the seat. Well, no, they're working on it. I mean, it's going to be decades, though. It's decades before there's not somebody in the trucks. It's a long time. So do computers get licenses revoked after 3 infractions? Yeah, they get turned off. I love it. No one that has more than 2 years over the road because of my past history. Are you waiting for a female trainer, though? Well, presuming you have a dash cam footage of the truck creating an accident from self-braking. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't prove that it is a design defect. I mean, it's actually working as designed. It would not be an easy case, believe me, because you're going to fight a huge company that's going to bring in 50 million experts, and it's going to be you. So you're going to need a huge accident where you got tons of damage, where got your arm and 2 legs ripped off and, that kind of thing. So a lawyer's going to take it because it's going to be a huge deal. RG Utah, what's going on, Mark? Sorry you're late. Starting with Pride this week. Hope it goes well. All right, yeah, let us know how that goes out there. Joshua, what's happening? Good to see you here today. Josh, Bridget the Robo Kitty. Oh, she wishes. Will there be robot roller wieners? Yes, like some of the original roller wieners, which are made out of cast iron, as we know. Comfortable Man got a run. Going for your FedEx drug test. All right, let us know how it's going over there. I'm very curious, really, because people ask about that place a lot. Thanks for coming in. Ryan, it's going to cost you to prove fault by a truck manufacturer. Oh, yeah, I mean, that is a huge case. You can't just walk in and say you're wrong. They're going to be like, no way, and they are going to fight you to the end because your case is going to set some kind of precedent. What they might do is try to pay you off to say, look, all right, we'll give you this much as long as you don't talk at all about it. That's what happens in these kind of things. And whether you take it or not, I don't know, or something. But proving it is going to be very, very difficult. Going to cost you to prove fault right. What is that truck box next to the right of Gracie? Oh, that is, I don't remember what that truck box is. I'd have to look at that. I think that's all the movies on DVD in a collector's pack. I have Star Trek stuff around here and there. Ryan, I hope you studied. Yes. Wow, Bill, self-breaking. How could a camera show that? Well, you could, especially if you're yelling about it, what's going on, that kind of thing. Like airplanes. The millennials have got this grand idea of these vehicles, jobs, and all kinds of crap whipping the butt for them. Lord help if they have to lift a finger to do manual labor. Yes, it is tough to get them to do any kind of work. Some of them. No, any trainer. Been off the road 15 and a half years and have 1 million miles before that. That's too bad. Why don't they let you pass a road test? I always don't understand these companies. Why don't they let you just pass a road test and say, all right, you still remember what you're doing. You don't need to go with anybody. And if you don't want to tell us, but I'm just curious, where do you have to wait for a trainer, I guess, if you are not waiting for a female? I know at a lot of these places. Oh, you're at U.S. Express. Okay. So they don't have any trainers available. You see, these companies shouldn't hire people if they don't have anybody to put them with. Are they going to at least abbreviate your time there where you don't have to go with a trainer for as long? Or are they going to give you the full shebang, as they call it? Where you have to go with a trainer just like anybody that just started. Oh, that would aggravate me to no end. Mad Maldy, money in my pocket. Well, must a lawyer you have a deal, walks away rich. Yeah, that's true. Right? You're going to have to win. It's going to be a case a lawyer thinks he can win because he's going to have to bring in experts, engineers, all kinds of stuff to prove that kind of case, which is going to cost him a ton of money. You're going to have to lose your head and both arms and just basically have a torso with legs come in there with those kind of injuries before it's going to be worth enough money. Your Honor, my client has lost his head. We cannot find it, and it's because of what happened in this accident. That's what it's going to have to be before a lawyer takes that kind of thing. Joshua's driving on 44 East. What's it going on down there? Is it doing good? Who remembers the skydiver? Did you see this last week? Okay, I shouldn't laugh about this. A skydiver skydiving ran into a truck. How often does that happen? Not much because it was in the news. Ran into the back of the semi, crashed into the top of it basically, and died. The moral of the story, be careful where you skydive, I guess. I thought that was really something when I saw that. Oh, there's a driver missing. This is something. For 6 weeks. Okay. Anyway, near Laredo. And you're thinking, oh, he got kidnapped or whatever, right? At the border because they don't know if he's in Laredo or in Texas or in Mexico. Here's the thing. Just before he went missing, he received a large settlement check from an accident and cashed it and then went missing and has been gone 6 weeks. Is he kidnapped or did he kidnap himself? Because if he left on his own, he's really not missing. So they're looking for him, been gone 6 weeks. I thought that was really something. So maybe you get $1 million and you're like, hey, all you guys, get lost. I'm out of here. If companies want to gripe, they shouldn't do things to get them there. I agree. That's totally true. Amanda has to have 175 wheel hours. So they're not even going to cut you a break, considering you know what you're doing already. I mean, why do companies do that? What are they trying to prove? The barbecue truck, I'm in the same boat, over 1.5 million miles, but 10 years ago. Have to virtually start over, and we'll have to go out with a trainer. Yes. They should at least cut you a break and say 1 week or something like that, but no way. This going with somebody full, I mean, like you just started, They're probably going to start you at the bottom of pay then again, right? I can only assume. And so it is time, of course, as people said, for a Blue Parrot break. You should always go get a Blue Parrot. Get your Blue Parrot headset today. Be legal out there. Oh, my gosh. And I always like to put GP Transco out there. They were busy today. They probably won't be back in the chat as they have a groundbreaking coming up. Look, they're groundbreaking. It's a great place. Okay, go check them out. Just give them a call. You want a job? Give them a call. Yikes. Can we talk about Jay for a minute at Auto Transport Intel? 8 p.m. live tomorrow night Central. Go see about hauling cars. I've never done it. I don't know anything about it. Even the cat doesn't know anything about it. Go check Jay out. Holy mackerel. I'm clicking like crazy here. He is in Mexico, says Mark. He might be. I mean, he cashed the money and then disappeared. I don't know. Anyone notice military vehicles being shipped? I haven't noticed it. New trainer would be buying your steak dinners for a week. You probably have more experience than the trainer. The Princess of Dixie Hill. Oh, yeah, there's an oldie but goodie truck show here in Lexington. Oh, that would be great to go to some of that. You should go to that and, put a video up about that. That would be really good. Did you ask him, Amanda, by the way, how long it would be if you wanted a female trainer? I'm curious about that. Was the driver driving on the sky jump field? No, the guy was driving down the road. And apparently the wind pushed this lady off of course, and she crashed into the top of his trailer. I think he heard it because I guess he stopped right away. So it'd be something you wouldn't be expecting. Is that a person? You don't expect that. James, can I think of an over-the-road company out of Los Angeles that hires? Yeah, Freymiller hires out west. So does Knight, but that's a mega carrier. So there's not a ton of places out there that are hiring, like that. I do know Freymiller will hire out of that area. Bruce is here. You're in. Good. Thanks for being here. Coming from Memphis, Tennessee. Love it. Yes, on pay. Yes. You'll start at the bottom. I don't understand it. The poor skydiver was probably blown away. Of course, that's what they said. Some wind gust picked her up basically and blew her the wrong way, and she crashed into the truck. If the truck wouldn't have been there, she might have made it. If you must wear it, make it a parrot. His head. They're right. Imagine the 911 call. Dude just dropped out of the sky through my windshield. I know. The police are probably like, oh, God, we got a drunk driver. Mad Maldy, did we do the thing yet? I don't know what we're doing. Think I might go to GP Transco. Been at CFI for 12 years. Why would you leave after 12 years? Let's ask that question. I think that YES probably means years. So if you're somewhere 12 years, what would make you leave a place after 12 years? CRST, you need 2 trainers expedited. Nice. You have seen more military vehicles shipped on the railroad. I added the more in there. Do you think it's more than it has been? No, but would be, not too many female trainers. That's the problem. When you ask for a woman that they don't have somebody, you might have to wait. I've had women waiting for months for a trainer. Old Truck Show, Super 10 Heaven. No, James Faust. I think they're banned because they said it would take too long to get there. So they're still shifting. They're 6-7 shift right now, waiting for 7th to connect. Is that a Gracie approved infomercial? Yes, they are Gracie approved. Oh, and an astute reader sent this in. I wanted to put this out. This picture, who's it? Cab over, right? And let's see. This cab over, I thought this was just the greatest cab over I've ever seen. Check out this cab over. Who remembers these Aerodynes? And this one's still a working Aerodyne. Can you believe it? Still hard at work. From all those years ago. Could have been a little bit of a frame stretch on there. Looks like a little lowering kit maybe. Nice. So thank you for that picture. That was really good. Everybody, I put that on Instagram also. People liked it over there. So CDL Life posted that GP Transco is the highest paying carrier other than Cisco and Walmart. Yes, they have a good pay. But the thing I like about GP Transco is that they don't treat you like an idiot there. They don't, you can only talk on the phone 5 minutes. You can't do this. You have to wear a uniform. You got to do, right? They want you to be a professional there and come and drive as a professional. So that's why I like GP Transco over Walmart. Maybe Cisco might be better, but I'm out on Walmart. Didn't the trainer teach a skydiver about control? I don't know. I don't know anything about skydiving. I have a trainee who had no idea registration is required for trailer. No, know where it's located. God help you. Look, it's like a car. I mean, people, I guess everything has to be taught, but I would just assume you have to have a trailer registration for anything else. That's something you get to, show them. How is it that you don't need a Class B to drive an RV or rent a U-Haul? It seems crazy. I know, you can rent a gigantic or buy an RV made from a Greyhound bus chassis. No problem on a car license. Drive the same vehicle as a Greyhound bus. You're down getting your CDL, air brakes, physical, everything. But if you're 97 years old and have a car license and money, you can go buy a gigantic RV and pull a huge trailer behind it. No problem. There's a lot of new stuff since you drove last. Going to go into it like a know-nothing. Yeah, look, it's changed a lot since those years. And if you've been out that long, the rules have changed. There's a lot of technology, so I hope you're up on that. It won't be any problem because you got the driving part down. That's what people have the most problem with. Well, Bill, not more, but regular once a month or so you see military stuff. Where's it headed? Or is that a secret there? People like, nice, right? James Foster remembers those K100 Aerodynes. Amanda likes it. Well, Bill says, look at the wheelbase. Yeah, look at it. I mean, they have all the greatness of a cab over and then they stretched it out. I thought, that's crazy. You know, the good part of it is it's not long, but they stretched it. Oscar, give me your opinion. I think if we truckers I said that weird too, face all kinds of regulations and crap from government, I think that people who own RVs should also be required to have a CDL. I totally agree. Oh my gosh. I totally agree. Any vehicle that is of size of 26,000 pounds where I need a CDL, a 90-year-old guy needs a CDL also. And furthermore, if it's such a blood pressure, they talk about that. Oh, that's a problem. You could black out or diabetes, right? Diabetes, like Wilford Brimley. Eat your oatmeal. If you can black out, then you can black out driving a car and run over a bunch of people. So if it's so serious, make everybody take a physical. See how fast that happens. Craig says Gracie's rare. Most orange cats are tomcats. Oh, is that true? I didn't know that. So, I guess, well, she's sleeping as usual, right? So this is, she's going to consider that. I didn't realize that most orange cats were tomcats. Huh. How about the calico cat? That's a female too. Yes, they're going to bobtail through town right past Stonewall and Lee's gravesite. That's pretty awesome. You should video that. That would be great to go to one of those shows. You should go to it if you can. Marty says Lot Lizard does cab overs. I don't know anything about that. Rhino would drive it. Yeah. Look, it's great. How many looks would you get in that truck? It would be great. Probably take opportunity to have a team truck also. Yes. Time for change. CFI is a great company. You just want more. You make 80 easy. You have 30 PTO days, but don't like having multiple dispatchers. It's a crazy system. You get 48 states and I'm not seeing Canada. I mean, you're going to have a tough time. You probably have a tough time matching that. You know, especially starting somewhere new. You're going to give up some of your vacation. Look, if it's worth it, that's great. And CFI has cameras, right? But they don't turn it on to you unless you have a problem. Am I correct about that? I think that's how CFI works, so that's okay with me too, of course. I mean, 80 and 30 days off is not bad, but I agree. And here's a company too. That's what companies don't understand. It isn't necessarily the money. You can work somewhere and make a lot of money, but be like, I can't stand working here anymore. It just isn't worth it. So money should never be an issue to work somewhere, but it's got to be some kind of consideration because you need enough money to live. You can't go like 10 cents a mile, I'll take it. But you should be treated well too. How does CFI treat you other than this kind of crazy internal corporate stuff that all these large companies get into when they get big? Not just there, really. Oh, here's somebody from GP finally. For 7 months, it's been great. Only good things to say about them. Great. I love the place, right? GP Transco. I just love it. And they come on here. I don't even ask them. They come on here, but they also don't pay me to be on here. People always think, oh, Mark, those companies pay you. They do not pay me, just so you know. Not job drove car through Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg. I saw that. That guy got charged with terrorism, though. And all I could think of was Blues Brothers, right? Oh, this mall has everything. I'd see the new Oldsmobiles are in early this year, right? Love it. Our cat Mango's an orange and a fluff ball. Oh, it looks just like this one then, right? Love it, right? She's super hairy. Calico cats are females also. All right, so we got right on that one. The RV guys watching TV, talking on the phone, cooking food and driving long hours, and drivers have all the rules. Yeah, you could drive that RV all the way to Florida straight through, no problem. And you're 96 years old. It doesn't make any sense at all. You'll be sporting a Trucking Answer shirt. I appreciate it. Thank you. Always repping for the show. That is great. Does GP do hair follicle drug testing? Oh, that's a good question. We'll have to ask the GP person, because I never ask companies if they do hair follicle, because I think you should be able to pass it. So I asked a couple places, then I don't ask them anymore. Transgender kitty. Oh, what? What? She doesn't know anything about that. Gracie's not political. She's just Gracie. Maybe Bridget knows something about that. We'll see. Right. You're busted already out of that. Nathan, if people don't watch to work the oil patch up here, it carries XPO, Central, and Magna are paying around $30 an hour. That's good. $30 an hour is good, but you can get that. Like, I know there's a reefer company. It's through a temp service, ironically. $27.50 in Indianapolis they're advertising, and you wouldn't have to go to the oil field and live, because you would just be able to live normal. 30 isn't super great. That's good, but not super great. Another line from Blues Brother, disco pants and haircuts. Oh, right. That doesn't fit as much from this, but I got it. That's like one of the greatest movies ever made. A lot of stretched cab overs I've seen pulling a skateboard loaded with long material. I don't understand this guy, though. This person is up in the Chicagoland area with a stretched out cab over. What are we doing here? That was the great part. You have all the room inside of a conventional in that Aerodyne, and then you're stuck, right, with this long frame. What is the point of stretching it? You need the room inside, which you have. Now you stretch it out, and you're still turning like you have a long-nosed Pete. You took all the goodness away of the cab over. And I would wonder if that, is he driving the original engine in it too? That'd be something. We don't know that. Maybe it's got some kind of big Cam Cummins or something like that in it. That would really be something. U.S. Express does now. Oh, they do hair follicle there? The barbecue trucker. CFI says they start drivers at 32 cents. 34 cents was 6 months. Also says you can make up to $50,000. I was making 30 cents in 94 for them. 32 cents is low, but not the lowest I've ever seen. That is low. Where's our CFI driver? How much do you make a mile to get $80,000 a year? But you've been there a long time. Okay, so I get it. Mark, I have cameras. I like one on One Dispatch. I turned down Walmart. I can't take Walmart's goofy corporate. They're so corporate on their stupid policies. I just cannot stand all these corporate policies that these places have. And all these long places seem to get into this kind of stuff. Amanda says they hair test, so U.S. Express is hair testing. A lot of places are going to it. GP does not hair follicle. Okay, they're not required to yet, certainly. Big Huge Mike is here. He just woke up. Oh, it's 2:30, buddy. What's going on? What's happening at 2:30? Waking up. We're going to assume you worked last night. Holy mackerel. Oscar, if the government wants to make it mandatory for RVs to own a CDL, most of the regulations that apply to us will fall off as well when huge riots. Oh, yeah, I'm totally. When huge riots from these 90-year-olds, they get on all their rascals and mobility scooters and head to Washington, D.C. in a 3-mile-an-hour convoy from all the homes. Oh, my gosh. It'll be a disaster once they get there. But, I mean, it'll be bad. Don't worry about it. Taking too long to live load this trailer, Mad Melody, I might throw a fit and just drive home. Well, go in there and tell them to get you loaded. It turns out from that article we read, people that are more aggressive with shippers and receivers get loaded faster after doing that. Big Huge Mike loves the third shift. I hear you. I like it too. Bruce has a question. What are the laws for carrying concealed? Here we go with the concealed, right? Each state is different. You would need to make sure that the state you're going into has a reciprocal agreement with the state you were in. I don't know that much more about it. I don't recommend it, certainly. Most companies of any size have a policy of no weapons. I know certainly here you'd be fired immediately if they found out you had a weapon, regardless of whether you had it legally. They would instantly fire you. That's probably most large places. I just can't recommend it, and I don't know all the rules of that. It's very close. You could be arrested if you are not following the rules exactly. You'd have to look them up. That stretching that Kenworth did not affect the cab. I know, James Fowles, yes. It didn't affect the cab, but it made it longer to turn the corners, what I'm saying. I like the short wheelbase so that I can get around corners with my gigantic Aerodyne. Chief Friday, what's good team pay? I'm getting 35 cents. Well, we'll see what people say. I don't think 35 cents is going to be great team pay. I will say that. Jimmy says, good to hear GP does not hair follicle if you have a high chance of false positives on a hair follicle test. Okay. CFI started at 35 cents with no experience. I finally got a raise. You make 37 now. But is it an okay place to work? At some point, though, the pay is low enough where you leave. You go, it's pay. But here, right, we had a driver 80,000, but still leaving because it isn't always pay that makes people leave. You got a picture of a Swift truck pulling a step deck with a suicide load. Wow. You don't see many Swift flatbeds. James Faust, longer wheelbase equals better ride. Yeah, but you're trying to get around. This isn't Chicago. We're trying to get around. We're trying to drive around Chicago with this thing. I mean, we just have all the goodness of this cab over. Let's keep this thing shortened up. Well, Bill says 3 mile an hour scooters. Look, these old people, if you told them they got to get a CDL and a medical to pass a physical to drive their RVs and all this, or there's gigantic trailers that are being pulled by their Cadillacs where they put the mirrors out on the fenders. Oh, the mobility scooters, they charge them up and head right to Washington with them. How much experience does GP require? It's tougher to get in since it seems like a good company. They require 1 year of experience. What are your thoughts on Prime? Not a fan. I've just never been a fan of Prime. I just can't get behind it. They do pay better than some places, but they just push their leasing on people too much. CFI driver, okay, there you get 50 and 60 with a student, plus 4,000 a year in bonus money. 30 days, PTO's paid at 194.87. So you're doing good because you've been there. Right, not bad. But you still may leave, may not leave. That's pretty good after time, 50 cents. All right. That's right. It's a big difference stretched out, making miles. I agree with you. All I'm seeing is a cab over, though, in the Chicago area thinking, yikes, that we got this stretched out truck and now I can't turn a corner in my cab over. They're strict on the road test at GP. Okay, but if you have experience, you should pass a road test, certainly. Big, huge Mike is going to get ready for work soon again. You just got up. You just got up and you get ready for work? Just checking, don't need to be arrested. I wouldn't, look, you can do it, I'm sure, if you follow all the laws. I can't encourage people to carry a weapon in the truck. I just can't because of if you cross a state line into a different state that has not a reciprocal agreement and they find your weapon and then you get arrested. I mean, holy mackerel, crossing state lines with to them is a weapon like that. No way. I wouldn't work it. Slaves shouldn't drive carrying weapons in their vehicles. Exactly. The stretch cab over is pulling a 40-foot can. He's still got to turn that thing around the corner. But okay, right. I see what you're saying. It's shorter than normal. Prime smells like. I see the point. James Faust. Yeah, if he's got a long trailer, I mean, what's the point of having the cab over, right? That was the great part when we had cab overs is you could turn corners. You could get around Chicago. I could maneuver this thing around and no problem. CFI was a great company to work for in the mid-90s. Nice. But what happened to them? These companies get too big and then they lose all their goodness. Chief Friday, I'm line haul 30 cents. 30 cents, 5 cents is per diem, $12 for downtime pay. Holy mackerel. 5 cents is per diem. I mean, I hate to ask who's paying this kind of low amount of money. Is this Western Express? And do you mean $12 an hour for detention? And how are they paying that? 35 cents sounds like the kind of pay Western, and you're only getting 30 cents really, and 5 cents a per diem. They're trying to boost your pay a little bit to show you, oh, this isn't like super bad. You can get a little bit of money out of this place, but oh my gosh. I would never badmouth CFI. They treat you very good. They don't bother me. I'm just getting my experience before I move on. Yeah, look, that's fair. If they treat you well, that's better than pay. I'd rather take lower pay for a place that treats me well than be aggravated every day having to call them or whatever, being aggravated at the place, and then they go, well, they pay me. No. You're much better off taking lower pay and getting treated better. It'd be different if it put a 156-inch sleeper on it. If you filled the room up in this thing, then I could see what you're saying. Right, let's get a whole sleeper on the back of this thing. All right, put a shower in there, Right. Pool table, all the niceties that you need to put in there. To, all that stuff. But this way, no way. All he did is stretch the frame and didn't add anything to the truck. There's more to Prime, a truckload more. The problem is also can't identify the trailers. I don't know if it's Prime Inc., Amazon Prime. I have no idea. What's a good company to go with your CDL and not going to a school? To get your CDL and not going to school? Sean, I think the best way is to see if your state will pay for school. Some states will give you a grant to go to truck school, and you could get your CDL for free through your state at no cost to you. That is the best way to get your CDL, I think. Not all states do it. You laugh every time you see that rolling down the road. I wish I could see one of those things. $12 for any time you're not moving, like waiting to get loaded. Who's paying this kind of weird pay? So if that's all loading time, that's still really low, though, $12 an hour. 30 cents a mile would be $18 an hour, at least you're getting when you're driving. You like grits. Who doesn't like grits? There's an old saying, you could take the driver out of Prime, but you cannot take the Prime or Swift out of the driver. People get in this mindset at these places of, this is how it's done. These are great companies, and they're really not. And I totally agree, Rhino. If you stretch that bad boy out, you better know how to make a trailer do what you want every time. Yeah, it's like you got a big long-nosed Pete in that thing. And a great phone holder. That is true. CFI, of all the things we say about them, listen to that. That thing is still fine, the CFI phone holder. It's the best ever. What was the original wheelbase on that cab over? Right behind the fuel tanks, probably. I think those wheels were right behind the fuel tanks. Would have been the original wheelbase of that truck. 180 inches or something like that, probably, for that kind of truck, maybe, at the most. And then you had something you could actually drive around on the highway. And then also get it in town without having to, back up 6 times. No pool table. He needs at least one roller wiener grill next to the pool table, I think. That cab over with a 156-inch sleeper, and then it's cool. Look, that stuff will all fit in there. Hey, Mark, thanks for coming in. Have a great day, and I'll see you on Monday at 1 p.m. I do this every Monday at 1 p.m. When you work for CFI, they made all the dispatchers go out on the road for 2 weeks a year to know what the drivers face. Great. But that was a long time ago. I wonder if they're still doing that at CFI. A lot of these places don't do it. Every trucking company should make dispatchers go on the road with the driver that complains the most. They'll just put them with some suck up or whatever if they do it at all. They should get the guy that complains the most on the hardest weeks and send him out with that person because that person's got problems. Your starting point is next to an Amazon warehouse, or is it next to a new Prime Inc. warehouse? We can't tell because Prime is suing Amazon because we can't tell the difference. How long is your trailer? 48 feet. How long is your truck? 42 feet. I know he's got like this 250-inch wheelbase truck now, which you probably can't even go to Canada with his cab over. New cat scale prices are $12. First weigh is $250. That's true. The reweighs are $250. They said they're only going to charge you for 2 reweighs and then the final reweigh. So that's what cat scale said. So if you get any reweighs in between those, like if you can't quite get it right or whatever, the most you'll pay is $19.50. So isn't that great of them? G Friday, appreciate confirming what you're thinking. Yeah, I think that you're not getting paid enough money. I mean, 30 cents and then 5 plus 12 is really low. All you'd have to do, unless you live in East Armpit, Iowa, all you'd have to do is look around and find a better paying place. It wouldn't be super complicated to do it. Do I still have this on here? I took that off of there. So truckinganswersnation.com. You can go there. I have a list of trucking company phone numbers on there and a bunch of questions to ask them that you can check out there. I don't put it on the screen. I guess I should put that back on there. I don't know why I took it off. But you can go over there to my website and check out companies. Just make a few phone calls. I mean, if you have a year experience, you can call GP Transco. They are filling up. Since the article came out, they're filling up with drivers, though, because that article came out, it's saying they're the 3rd highest paying company in the country, and they're getting a lot of calls. They actually had to hire another recruiter, so that's really something. We can check them out at gptransco.com/drivegp. How about that? Don't forget Conway on CFI for a while. Yes, don't know how they are now. The company president made it a good company when you were there. All these companies, once they get too big, they just become corporate monoliths. They try to become the biggest in the industry. They shouldn't try to be the biggest. They should just try to be the best. Companies don't ever understand, it seems like, that if they would just keep the drivers they have, they wouldn't have to hire a bunch of new drivers. It's like they could care less. Your company reimburses you for all out-of-pocket expenses that have to do with the truck. Big, huge Mike, they certainly should. Every company driver shouldn't have to pay anything for the truck at all. You shouldn't have to pay anything. A lot of places have an amount on your ComData card that you can buy, $20, $30. I've seen that, and you can just send them a receipt. Otherwise, you have to get some kind of PO number. Just try not to make it a habit. Yeah, but for windshield wash fluid or whatever, absolutely. Comfortable man likes grits. Who did I drive for starting out? Okay, so I drove for Economy Transport. I remember that place. So I got out of truck school in 1988. Drove for Economy Transport. They had 4 trucks. He had 2 straight trucks, which were Mercedes straight trucks, which I'll get back to in a minute. 1 single axle Brigadier day cab, and 1 twin screw Ford L8000 day cab. So that's what he had. And depending on how heavy the load was, you would drive the truck that was right for that load that day. Usually I took the Ford out into town, and this isn't downtown Chicago. I don't remember their address. Somewhere up on North Avenue. I don't even think they're open. So that's what he had. And the Mercedes the Mercedes straight trucks, which I've never seen a Mercedes straight truck, it had a gear shift lever that could have been 4 inches long. You had it when you reached down, it was way down there by the floor. Your arm was all straight, shifting it, and it barely shifted like it had some kind of short throw shifter, like you were driving some Subaru WRX, race car or something. 5-speed, all 5 speeds. Both of them were 5 speeds, and it had all the Mercedes gauges and everything. It was very nice. It was quiet. They drove good. I love the fuel gauge, always on Mercedes and a lot of European cars, 1/1 rather than full 1/1, 1/2, and then 0/1. I love it. That's what he had there. I would usually drive the Ford, which had the front brake limiting valve on it, which is the first time I've had one of those. Some people on here that have been driving for a while remember front brake limiting valves probably. You would flip that over, and then you basically turned off the front brakes, and that was supposed to prevent them from skidding, of course, and then you could control the truck in bad weather or whatever. Front brake limiting valve. Love it. I also heard that there were states that had grants for APU, so you won't idle. Never looked into it. Yeah, for owner-operators, there are some states that have APU grants. I think on the OIDA website, if you join OIDA, or maybe on the website, you can find the information there. They deal with all those kinds of grants. You should certainly join anyway. I am a member, and I think they do a lot of stuff with that. If you're a member, I know you can call them and ask them that kind of question too. What was the best overall year in trucking? It gets better every year because, I used to think, I'm going to get the most money or whatever, but I don't do that anymore. So I used to be gone for long periods of time, would make a lot of money on the road, as everybody on here does, but now I don't do that. So, each year I think it's just better. Trucking's better. Now that I've been here a long time, I find it a lot easier to do the work that I do. That's why I encourage people to stay at a company. You learn the whole system. Everybody gets to know you, and you learn how everything works. But I think it's better every year. It depends on trucking, what you find, what you want to be the best thing in trucking for you. I used to think it was money, but it doesn't really seem to be that. To make the money, I think it took too much time. Nathan, who all still chains, or do they shut down when required? Chaining is a way of life up here, just like many other places. I've only had to chain a couple times in my whole career, so for me, no chaining up. Mark, I like grits as a person on here, not you. I understand. I'm just saying I like grits too. I saw that and say I like grits too. Absolutely. We both like grits is what I'm saying. I despise the mega carriers. They have absolutely way too much influence to make things go their way. Considering there's not that many of those companies, they control a lot of the market, and they control a lot of the driver market. So yes, and they get a lot of push in Washington because of the ATA. You drive the Northwest and chain when needed. I see many guys just park it. Sometimes the company's policy is not to drive. Mercedes-Benz Actros is the semi most used in Europe. Probably, yeah, still to this day. Now, this was in 88, and these trucks were probably 10 or 15 years old then. These Mercedes straight trucks, I've never seen any other Mercedes straight trucks in the United States. I don't know where they got them from. Barbecue trucker, y'all, don't beat me up, but you're planning on going with Swift or Knight to get your foot back in the door. I hate job jumping, so I'll likely be there for a while. Well, you can always leave after a year if you don't like it. A lot of people find success even at these places. Find a dedicated run, and you might do great there. CPAP Bible Trucker is here. What's happening? Ryan is not wants to know if you're sure about it. Clay, ever drive a 3-stick truck? No. I think there are a couple of people on here that have. I had a twin stick. I've had a twin stick Mack dump truck before, but I've never driven a 3-stick. I've seen them, but never had one. I can't imagine. I don't know. You'd run out of hands. I mean, there's too much to do. The twin stick was enough work just to keep the thing moving. Oscar was love all the info. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Oscar, and I appreciate a super chat. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in and doing that. Any recommendations on dash cams with 3 cameras? Where's the 3rd camera point? The dash cam I use, which is front and rear. I don't have it facing me, but you can turn it on at any time. Where would the 3rd camera point? I know that Falcon Eye has dash cams that you can put them on the mirrors and stuff. You can hook up like 8 cameras at one time if you want to it. What company can you go with 3 months experience with hazmat and tanker and home every night? Well, in Florida, CCC has some, which I remember seeing. They have tanker jobs even for students, and some of their runs are home every day. Some of them. I don't know if some of these other places like Questliner and that, I don't know if they will hire you with 3 months of experience for that. The barbecue trucker, weren't you going to Maverick? Rhino would try Walmart before those two? I don't know about that. And plus Walmart, you require experience. I do miss the European V8 semi-engines. Yeah, we didn't get too many of those here. Maverick won't return your emails, doesn't sit well with you. Yes. I drive an email. I would send out an email and say, yikes, what do we do? Why are we not talking to me? James Faust, right, that's who I thought drove a 3-stick REO. Nice. It's your whole day is shifting though. I mean, between the sticks, I never drove them. Okay. I never drove them, but I can imagine, what do you say? How much of your time is spent shifting? Do I have back or hip problems from driving? No, I don't. A lot of drivers do, but I never did get any problem. I don't know. I just do okay with it, I guess. Trucking Pop. Eagle Express is installing driver-facing cameras. I'm surprised they never had them. I understand a lot of guys are going in the office, some out the gate. How many are going to quit over it? We'll see. And they should. And when they quit, if anybody quits, they should tell them, this is why I'm quitting, because of the camera. That's the only way for them to learn a lesson. 3-stick Mac. So you had a 3-stick Mac. Isn't it all your day spent shifting, figuring out which gear you're in? Yikes. Although I assume you can skip like any other truck. Mac Mark, I have 3 months of experience petroleum hauling and don't like it. Who can I go to work with 3 months and be home nightly? Well, you can go. Well, look, Yellow and Holland and all those places, they'll take you. I know they take students. They have a doctor-driver program, so they would take you with experience, and you can be home every night. ABF, all these companies have home every night jobs because they will take students. Home every night, paid for all your time. I love running Northwest wintertime. Rates get higher and loads nobody wants. So you take the loads nobody wants and make the money that the other people don't get. 1 camera facing the front, either 2 on the mirror. The only ones I know of, and I don't know every camera. Falcon Eye. Go onto the Falcon Eye website. Falcon Eye dash cams. And they have all kinds of camera setups. You can put them on the mirrors. They have all these external ones or whatever. So absolutely they do that. Well, you're in South Carolina. What about G&P? In the Southeast, G&P would be a place to check out down there. The barbecue trucker, I still didn't no reply. I guess that's your answer then. I guess that's it. They're like, forget it. I think Maverick not responding is their way of saying they're not interested. That's not very professional. I'm kind of getting upset about that place with their 2-year not responding. I don't know what's going on over there. Walmart, like pretty much all companies, won't accept your experience because it was 10 years ago. Yes, you can't, you're not going to be able to use that as experience. They don't even count it. It's like it never happened. Your experience is like ServPro, like it never even happened. J. James, why are people waiting on companies to email them back? I wouldn't wait for anyone. If they called later, I'd say this is what happens when you sit on the fence. That's a good way to do it, I guess. If you missed a gear on a 3-stick, you had to pull over and start over. Right. This isn't like today, right? Because you had to get the thing back in. That would be really something. Like, I'm in 3rd, I'm in 12th. I'm in 21st. Oh my gosh. I never did this. Rhino, why am I not talking to myself? Check out CCC. That's what I thought too, right? Tanker hazmat. Your dad was a diesel mechanic there, and mom handled insurance at 3 offices. And they go to Florida too. The cameras at your job say iDrive on them. So there's several systems. There's iDrive. JJ Keller has one now. There's Lytix. There's Drive Cam. There's a number of different companies that have come out with these cameras at the jobs. And if the drivers leave there, they have to deliver the mail. That's a good place. That kind of place is a perfect place to strike that company. I'm never in favor of a nationwide strike. I'm always in favor of a company strike, where you go to a company and you strike a single company. That's the only way to do it, kind of like they're doing at GM right now, and just wait them out. So the mail would have to move. They'd have to pay expediters to move this mail. I'm sure they have contracts. That's the perfect kind of job to put the screws to, but drivers won't do it. And so your only choice then is to quit individually, because you can't strike together. People just won't do it. And I don't care the government says whatever. You can just not come to work. They can't make you come to work. Harlem Act with a yard dog count for trucking experience? I don't think so. I think they would count that as local, if anything, if any kind of experience. Most of these companies want over the road. Some of them, even in their ads, they say, oh, must have gone through at least 11 states and slept in the truck 5 nights a week to have over the road experience or whatever. So I don't think a lot of them don't. Some would. Amanda, I don't know the answer, but you're going to call safety tomorrow and ask if you can audit the training just like a college course. Oh, that'll be really good. I just want to audit this. I don't really want to take the class. I'm going to audit it and see what they say about it. Unfortunately, you still have to wait. Are they paying you anything to wait there, by the way, since you said you're waiting for a trainer? Are you getting anything to wait, or do they just expect you to wait basically on your own dime? The national truck strike in 1974 was brutal, yes. But because not every company is a problem, I don't know, what it solves. I guess you could strike for, like in the cameras that I'm talking about, you could strike for a rule to say the cameras are not allowed, just like Canada. But I think when you close a single company down, they have no choice but to comply with you. It's more of a strike, a surgical strike, as the president would say, George H.W. Bush. Surgical strikes. I heard that Maverick has really scaled back on hiring. If they're hiring, there's no reason to disqualify you. If you don't know tickets, I mean, they need a student. You're a student, no tickets or accidents. Why not hire you? Why not at least answer you? That's not professional. It's not a good way to do business. And I'm concerned then, if they want to answer your emails now, when you have a real problem there, like your pay's wrong or something, you're not going to be able to get an answer and get it fixed. And that's a real concern. That really is a concern. If they don't want to hire you, they should at least say, look, we looked it over and we're just not going to move forward with this right now. Thanks for calling or whatever. That takes 3 seconds to write that email out. If they can't even do that, I'm out. Rhino wonders, who does Mark drive for? Well, that is always an interesting question. Gracie also wonders that. I never, for people that are new here, I don't really tell people who I drive for. That keeps them out of my videos. And I also don't recruit for these places. Even my own company, I don't recruit for them. Probably not right for everybody. Maybe for me, but that's how I do it. And I think that's worked out good. There's so many people on YouTube recruiting. They must make more in recruiting fees. Not for me. Amanda, so they pay you $50 a day. All right. Will they do that? Oh, $300 a week. Why don't you get paid for Sunday? You're still waiting on Sunday. Still, I guess $300 a week is better than nothing, but how long do they expect you to wait? What if it's 6 weeks? Right? That's only $1,800 in 6 weeks. I mean, that's just not reasonable to hire someone and say in 6 weeks now we'll have work for you. I just don't think it's a reasonable thing to do. And eventually you might have to leave and go somewhere else. And then US Express will be like, oh, we can't get anybody come and work here. We hire people and they just quit on us. I mean, that's just not the right way to do business. Only hire the people you need when you need them. Not make people wait around. I love that you got to wait, but you don't get paid for Sunday, even though you're still waiting on Sunday. Ask them, who do they think they are? They think they're Hobby Lobby? I did ask them, do you think that I'm driving for Chick-fil-A here? I get paid for Sunday, tell them. Is Land Air a good company for new drivers? Oh, I don't know. I never looked into Land Air. If they don't want to hire you, they should just let you know, yes. They should at least put that out. Hey, we're not interested right now. Maybe in the future you can reapply or whatever. What's that, 10 seconds? They can't even be bothered. It just really bothers me that now you can't get an answer, because when you need to email payroll or you need to email about your insurance or something, you're not going to be able to get an answer then when you need an answer. This is not a good start. So I totally agree with you. Thank you, Wild Bill. I appreciate it. Barbecue Trucker Swift seems to want you. If they'll answer your questions, they're ahead of Maverick. How about that? And I've always said Swift is not nearly at the bottom of the list, even though people put it there. It isn't. It's not where it is. Amanda, I have a trainer, but on home time, been a week. Well, at least you're getting $300. I still think they should. Anytime you have to wait, they should pay you. And James Faust, Wild Bill wants to know who Wild Bill drives for. Yikes. We'll see what that is. We'll see what Bridget thinks about that. Bridget, the Calico, will only be here for a while, maybe a year, which is, I guess, a while. So they said that this driver missing. I love this. I always like to bring this up. This driver's been missing for 6 weeks, and he's missing near the Mexican border. And right before he went missing, he received and cashed a large settlement check, and they haven't seen him since. So, and they don't mean like he cashed a check at the bank and then he disappeared. Like, within the week or two before he went missing that he cashed his check. So it's not like somebody followed him out of the bank with a bunch of money. But, they're looking for him. Who knows what could have happened to him? And they said large. We don't know what a large settlement check is. Rhino, so is that 6 weeks paid? Well, it's only $1,800 in 6 weeks, though. I mean, nobody could live on $1,800, probably. Maybe you could. Maybe it's enough money, but usually you need more than $1,800 in 6 weeks of just sitting. You're just sitting, waiting. Stop waiting and find another job. It's on you for sitting around. I think that once they don't answer you, that's probably enough to move on. And I would even tell them, look, any next place that you look at, all I'm asking is for communication. Here I tried to get on a Maverick and they won't even talk to me. I mean, and I'd say, am I going to have that problem here? And they're always probably like, oh, no, everything is going to be fine here. So we'll see what happens there. You're going to call the recruiting manager at Maverick. It may just be a bad recruiter. Let you know. Yeah, let me know if we can get this guy, boot up his butt here to send an email. How hard is that for him? Consider it's his job to communicate with people. That's what he gets actually paid to do, to communicate with you. He's getting paid for that. It's not like he's just doing it. He's on his free time at his house. I think I'll just send an email. No, he's getting paid for it. He should do his job. If they don't need people, they should take down their recruiting information and find out from that. Okay, we don't need anybody. We don't need anybody at all. Rhino, the suspense. Oh, wow, Bill, your company has a gag policy. You can't tell anyone. You can't even tell your spouse or anything. That's what I understand. In addition, you have a mustache and glasses to install. If I see someone I know, I did see that one day. I thought it was you, but it turned out it wasn't. Those are classic. Those are classic. Truck tonnage is up 4.1% this year in August over 2018. So everybody talking about this big recession, trucking is terrible, there's no freight. Okay, truck tonnage, this is according to the ATA of all things, and DAT load board, but it was the ATA was in on this. Truck tonnage is up 4.1% this August over August of 2018. You cannot have a big recession where there's no freight or anything if your truck tonnage continues to increase. Trucking is still a great career to get into. Are there some sets of industries that are down? Yes. If you'll keep a clean record, though, keep a clean history or whatever, and don't have 12 jobs in 1 year. You can change jobs, but don't change tons of jobs. Go figure out where you're going first. You are going to have a job to do. No problem. What do I think about Kevin Rutherford? I listen to the show sometimes. It's a lot of fuel mileage talk, which it should be. But there's always, I remember those. Oh, what is my correct gear ratio or whatever for this? And a lot of oil talk. He does a lot with, it's mainly owner-operator talk on that show for sure. But I listen to it on satellite, absolutely. Right, Kevin Rutherford show, certainly. Rhino, I saw a dude walking across the parking lot last week with those glasses. That was Wild Bill. You saw him. Where was that? So we can Google map it. We can satellite Google map it and find him. So that was probably him walking across the parking lot right there. I listen to a lot of those shows on Dave Nemo. I listen to and stuff like that on the radio with the call-in shows and Kevin Rutherford's show. Certainly, I listen to all that stuff on there. Yeah, 1,800 wouldn't cover the first week. Yeah, now you don't want to sit 6 weeks. It's 300. Look, if you are spouse works, or I guess you can live on $300, it's not terrible. But I just don't know why these companies like US and a lot of them, not just them, hire people that then, we don't have trainers. We're not going to have a trainer for weeks and weeks. I don't know why they do it. It just doesn't do well with me. Then Maverick, we're not going to call anybody back. We'll just let them sit at their houses. I'm not going to talk to anybody. Why do we have to talk to somebody? Let them wait for us. Let them want to come on here. You can't ever let them get over on you like that where, I've got to get on this job. No way. James says it's time to feed the kitty. Ironically, one came out and is eating some chow now here. So you're going to take a cat break. And believe me, if you put the food down here, it's always a cat break here. There's no choice in it either way. Anytime you get up, the cat's like, I think I'm going to get fed here. I hang out with Waldo. No one can find him. That's true. The barbecue truck, going to be fair, you're not going until January. But I let him know that he said to apply because it takes him 3 months to approve. Why do they have to take 3 months? What are they doing in 3 months? He still needs to email you back. There's no reason not to email you back. You're on SSDI and you want to off it so it's not that bad. So there you go. So 300 is not terrible. Okay. But this is better, certainly. Maybe it's okay for you. I still haven't, no one's come out. Has anybody on here worked for Gantt, Sunco, or Interide? Or know anybody that works for these companies? Their parent company, Cold Carrier, they went bankrupt on Friday. Another one of these private equity firms that buys trucking companies up, doesn't know anything about trucking, sucks them dry out of money, and then bankrupts and leaves everybody out in the cold, totally out in the cold. So, and it's only 339 trucks. Although that's a lot if that's a lot if it's one of you. But 339 trucks on Friday, bankrupt. Gantt, which I've talked about on, at least on the channel, Sunco, and Interide. All three of these companies are part of Cold Carrier, which is owned by some huge private equity firm that buys trucking companies. And this one, they went ahead and went bankrupt. So all those drivers are now out of work. They'll be looking for a place where you work, maybe. Somebody wrote to me about Gantt once. That's why I looked into it. And it turns out it wasn't really great. It was pretty low pay. The lease purchase was under $1 a mile pay for the driver, which I thought is crazy if you're going to lease purchase. And that's the other part of this lease purchase thing. So when you go to lease purchase a truck from a company, you never own the truck. When you lease a truck or a car or anything, you are not the owner of that. The leasing company is the owner of that vehicle and the title. You don't own it. So when it has to go back like this, like Gantt and that will, those trucks have to go back because you don't own the truck. They can come and get the truck from your house. They could repossess it because it never was your truck. And any money you put in, you'd have to sue the company for. Good luck, they're bankrupt. So they're not going to have any money either. You're going to have to file a claim in bankruptcy court and wait. And in a large place like this, 300 trucks is going to be a multi-million-dollar company. This is going to take some time in bankruptcy court to get through. So you may not get money for a year, 2 years. We don't know how long it's going to take. Don't lease a truck from the company that you put the truck on it. Lease it outside of the company so that at least you still have it. If you have to lease, you should certainly buy it. That'd be best. But people still insist on leasing the truck. At least lease it outside of a company. You don't want to lose that asset. You want control of that asset. These drivers that might have to turn their trucks in and lost, what if it's a 48-month payment and they're on their 40th payment? They might lose everything. And they now they don't have a truck. They don't have those 40 payments, and they're just literally out on the street. It's no good. It's no good for you. I've been informed you're not at liberty to discuss Rhino. Ian, an Interide guy. They say they had a conference call today about it. Oh, really? Oh, I wish you could get in touch with them and say what they're doing. Are they still running freight? Because it didn't say that these trucks were just stranded. Really, no one's talked about it at all. Are the trucks stranded? Are the drivers on the road? There's no talk of that at all, other than the company is bankrupt. They filed for bankruptcy. So you might get paid, you might not. The first thing that they do is pay you if the company stays open. So as long as they stay open, you'll get paid. The barbecue trucker, you're also on SSDI. Got a doctor's release to go to work. Can't stand not working. Did they at least get their drivers home, Rhino? I don't know. It didn't say. Just that on Friday, they went ahead and just filed bankruptcy. They're like, we're bankrupt. Clay, 2.45 hours for live load sitting for free. That's not great. Killing your home time is getting old. Contract is up in November. Think about going local and solo. Going with Mark about teams. Oh, they hit a bump. I'm going to die. Yeah. Look, for me, people always say, oh, teams are great. Not for me. When you are sleeping in that truck and you hit a bump, you're dead. And then you wake up, you're like, oh, I didn't die that time. But the next bump, you're dead again. I just can't do it. I can't deal with it. Even if I knew the person, people that do teams, that's why they get so much money, because there's so many of us like me that will not do it. They won't. We have a team that runs here, one team out of here. Whenever somebody goes on vacation, they always ask, hey, you want to go team? If you're walking around and they're like, hey, you want to go do this for this week? You'll double your pay. I'm like, no, I don't. And they're like, well, you're going to get so much more money. I'm like, I don't care. Okay. I can't spend money when I'm dead. All right. Just the stress of the week, you know, even in my extreme upper 30s, that kind of stress, that can be really tough on you. So I tell them no. Anybody that could do it, maybe. For me, solo, that's the way to go. Most drivers prefer to be by themselves anyway. It's still going, say that won't affect the employees. All right. That's why there must not have been that much news on it, that it won't affect the employees. Oh my gosh. All right. That's a great question. So your company has a conference call and says, guess what? We're bankrupt. Don't worry about it. Do you worry about it? Is that true that Schneider's getting their owner-operators in CPAP? I don't see why they wouldn't. Schneider is big on the CPAP machine there, so they certainly could. That's an interesting question. Couldn't they make you take a CPAP, or can they only make you do the minimum? Probably can. Probably in their contract they can. It's because of a contract, of course. And so if you agree to it, yeah, I think so. I'm not a lawyer, of course, but I think if it's in the contract and applies equally to everybody, they say to be an owner-operator here, you have to have a CPAP. You have to be in our CPAP program. Barbecue Trucker says, I agree, no teaming. You're about to be going teaming, though. Unfortunately, leasing isn't as good a deal in your opinion, and you would know, right, Rhino, an owner-operator here. Also agreeing, leasing, I'm no fan of leasing. They shouldn't do it. If you do lease, please only lease from outside of the carrier. At the worst cases, you lease outside a carrier, right? Ever driven a team? Yes, very slightly at BP Chemicals. Team drove for a while, and we only hauled oil, cased oil products, and just couldn't take it. A few weeks, I'm like, no way. Right, I've been up all week. By Friday, you're a zombie. I'm a zombie sleeping 2 hours a night, like at 5 minutes at a time. There's just no way you can do it. And I don't care if you hang from a hammock in there, you have a sleep number bed, you know, massaging fingers bed. It doesn't matter. It's not the bed, right? It's every bump. Every time the truck stops, you're dead. Every time they change lanes, you're dead. You can't turn the radio up or anything. No way. I just could not do it. I couldn't. Big Huge Mike drove teams long ago, woke up in the air, will never do teams again. Oh, that's the other thing, right? You have to strap yourself down in the netting and all that. Otherwise, you fly all over the place. You wake up on the floor. Hey, what am I doing on the floor? Oh, the car stopped in front of you? That's nice. I'm going to climb back in bed and go to sleep now. That's the problem. And, you know, who knows what you're sleeping in, so you don't want that either. Either way, look, you got to strap down. We used to just have 3 straps. It's a net now, some kind of big netting. And so you have to strap yourself down to the bed, which is the law anyway. But you should do it. Just no way. No way. Well, Bill, I enjoy better conversation when you drive alone. That's true. Plus, when you're driving by yourself, you can turn the radio up, right? Neil Diamond comes on. You can crank that stuff up. You don't want to turn that down. Amanda says it's time for the Rubber Wiener Award. Oh, that'd be really good. Jeremy, CPAP is a scam. Seen just mass problems. You can usually lose a couple pounds and be fine. The best way is to lose weight if possible to get off the machine. Then you don't have to do it. I think these companies, though, that do it with just a neck thing, it's none of their business. It's between you and your doctor. Not between the company and you, not between anybody else but you and your doctor. I told Swift that I didn't want a team during training. They told me that they would set me up with a mentor that is a dedicated route. Oh, really? Well, we'll see about that. Mentor. I love that they use mentor, by the way. That's good. So they have a dedicated route. I wonder how do they pay that trainer then extra? Because normally the trainer gets all the miles the truck drives. That's what encourages them to team. Yeah, we'll see if they do it. Rubber Wiener Award at Roller Wiener Nation. Oh, that'd be a great website. I should get that one. And good for you. Delicious and good for you. Oscar, wife and son in school, decided to pick up a local run, 80 miles, 650. Can't complain. Now you're back home to make some Cuban food. Exactly. So it's $600. You only drive 80 miles. I mean, holy mackerel. That's more than most owner operators get. Oh, right. 80 miles a day, presumably. Right. If you can live on it and you get all the home time, you can't buy home time. Everybody, you cannot buy that. Can't buy Cuban food. Well, I guess you can buy Cuban food, but you can't get homemade Cuban food. It's all what you want. Trucking is what you want. It isn't about, oh, can I make 100? Can I make a 200,000? Not necessarily. Chasing money is a loser's game. You never catch it because there's always another dollar, another foot away. You can never catch enough of it. So stop chasing it. Let it come to you. That's Motivation Monday. Clay, it's rough. Every little thing the car door wakes you up. It's getting ridiculous. I know. You brake hard. How to get out of the truck stop. What I need to bring in a weigh station. Exactly. Forget it. Forget it. For me, forget it. If you can do it, maybe husband and wife can do better at it. Something like that. Maybe. But for me, no way. Joshua, you personally don't use the net. It is the laws. We know. I know most people don't put it on because it ties you down to the bed. But then you wake up on the floor or whatever, or flying off the seat, or flying off the bed, 3 feet off the bed. No way. Hey, what's going on? Hey, thank you for being here. It's good to see you here today. The barbecue trucker, I think it's a weekly pay addition for the dedicated mentors. All right, so they're going to get paid extra. Maybe they won't mind doing it. I'd like to know if Swift follows that, and can anybody at all ask for that there? Meaning, can anybody go in and say, I don't want a team train, because you're not really being trained if you're teaming. People always argue with me about this because Prime does a lot of that too. In your second section or whatever, you're teaming. That isn't training. Nobody's training you if the trainer is sleeping. Nobody would allow it at their school for their children. Oh, what happened today, little Susie, because that's their name. Oh, well, we got to school and the teacher gave us an assignment and went to sleep immediately and said we should just do it on our own. And if we had questions, they were there to answer them. You'd be down at the school with pitchforks and torches. And the old people would be down there. Their grandmothers would be down there in their mobility scooters coming from Washington, D.C. over to the school to protest. There's just no way. You just can't do that. Monty, what's going on? Hello there today. When driving a 2,400-mile week, how many hours of driving in average per week? Well, it depends. Depends how fast you go. If you're doing all through this in Manhattan, you're going to do better. You probably won't be able to average 65 at a company because that's probably the fastest you can go. But 40, 50 hours sounds like a good week there. If you're sitting around a lot, you're going to have a lot more time in the logbook. You can do that, no problem. Go through a DOT inspection when you're in a sleeper. What happens? Do they make you get up? Well, that's interesting. That's a good question. What do they do? Has that happened to you, James Faust? And what do they do at the DOT inspection? I was not inspected. I only could stand it a couple of weeks. I'm still catching up on my sleep from that, and that was like in 1989. I'm new to trucking and go to CRST. Do they have a 3 to a truck? I've heard that. Is that such a thing? No. As far as I know, only England. It is a thing. But only England has it at right now. I assume it was going to spread. But CRST does not have 3 to a truck, and neither does any other company. It's an England thing. If it's something you're interested in, you can head over to England, but not CRST, not at this time as far as I know. Red Monkey Trucking is here. Hello, what's happening today? Hope it's going good for you guys. Sometime heavy traffic, go to New York City. Yeah, add 10 more hours for sitting in New York City. That's horrible. That's a no for me right there. But you're going to add a bunch of time sitting in traffic. Make sure you get a company that has the electronic toll passes. You don't want to be paying $100 tolls all the time. Oscar likes to run 2 weeks over the road and 1 off home. If locals are decent and straight through, I'll do a few days. Been working out for 3 years. Yeah, look, so that 2-1 works for you. All right, I'm in. Every company's got different stuff to offer somebody. So whatever your home time is, how much you want to make, it's there for you, right? Right, 3 drivers and 8-hour shifts. No, it's a trainer and 2 students. at England doing that. And I've talked to trainers that don't drive at all. So it's, the two students basically driving and switching off the sleeping time. And the trainers, some of them don't drive all week. KB, hopefully not KB Trucking. If I'm going through California and get a green light for a bypass, do I still have to stop? No way, unless you have hazmat. Some states make you stop for hazmat. Otherwise, keep on cruising. Do they give the green light in California? Do they ever do that anymore? They're horrible about that. Well, most companies supply an automatic transmission like Rail and Maverick. Can you demand it? Well, if you have the restriction, I guess you'd have to demand it. Do most of them have it? Most large companies have them now, yeah. Even some are getting in automatic, so they have some automatics, some manuals. So, yeah, when you call a company, just ask them, hey, you guys got automatics or whatever? That's what I'd like. DOT made your co-driver get up at the scale house. What did they do, Joe Jordan? What did they make your co-driver do? I mean, why are they making him get up, and did he have to come inside? What the heck? Because now I'm considering what he did based on will he have to log it. Rhino, green light hammered down. Exactly. Keep cruising. James, it happened to you. They have no right to go in the sleeper while occupied. Well, what are they doing in the sleeper? So you had to leave the sleeper berth? So theoretically, you would have to log that. Rhino, they do a sleeper check for what? What are they looking for back there? For the other driver? Oh, in case you're lying about it? Big, huge Mike. The fun part is being up for 24 hours a day so you can properly train the students. Yeah, exactly. Properly. I wish I could highlight properly there. Yeah, and put quotes around it. California gets green lights like they monitor and keep traffic safe. Yeah, I didn't know any California ever gave a green light to anybody. I thought they always have that thing turned off. Joe said they had a logbook inspection for the person in the sleeper. All right, so once this person's getting inspected, they have to get up and get an inspection. That would be logged on duty. And since it's at a scale, you would have to log it. It's going to have to match any kind of inspection for an audit. So now you've broken up your sleeper time? What kind of stupid thing is that? How safe is that? I mean, what stupid state is doing this? Oh, Oregon. Okay. Co-driver got up at a scale in Oregon. That's just stupid. Let's get this guy up and do an inspection. Can't you bring their logbook in? A friend told you that the DOT woke him up at 2 in the morning and set a rest area to do an inspection. They were doing it to a few people. Is that legal? Not anymore. They're supposed to let you sleep. They just came out with a directive about that. The FMCSA said to the DOT, look, people that are sleeping or whatever, unless they're parked illegally, we need to wake them up to move them to a safe parking spot. They're supposed to leave you alone during your break. They're supposed to. Now, how they enforce that, I don't think there's any way to enforce it, but they're supposed to leave you alone. Maybe have the driver in the sleeper show his CDL. Just have his logbook out there with you back then. And now the logbook is out there with the driver that's awake. Yeah, here's his log right here. I guess, what do they think? You're faking that there's another person? I guess you could have just pillows put in there too, like in a mannequin head. There he is back there, really, oh, I can't think of the name of it. This was going to be great, and then it went back terrible. So it was going to be great, but I'll have it in a moment, really. But you could put pillows and a mannequin up there and say that's the person back there. They shouldn't be bothering anybody that's on their break. That's supposedly the idea of a break, is so that you can get your 90 minutes of rest that you're going to get while you're teaming back there, where the rest of it is basically you're terrified that you're dying or are feeling better for the next 2 minutes that you didn't die just a moment ago until the next bump, and then you feel like you're going to die again. Rhino, Oscar, it's federal property. It's legal, but personally I think it's BS. I agree. I mean, they did say leave people alone, but are they leaving people alone? They should. I just heard your commentary on CST today. It made me cringe. Yeah, look, they don't have 3 bunks there yet. Okay, at CRST, it's still a 2 bunk. It's only England. It is only England. I haven't found anybody else, and England orders the truck special just for them. So CRST still doing the regular teaming. I don't agree with any of the teaming and training. Certainly, the trainer should be up the whole time the student is driving. There shouldn't be any excuse for that otherwise. When will the new hours of service come in? That's going to be probably the beginning of spring. Right. Beginning sometime late winter, early spring at the soonest, I think. Because they just got an extension on the comment period. And so now that's another 20 days or so that you can comment, 15 days maybe. And then they have to make a rule, which is final rulemaking, issue the rule. And they said immediately, and there'll be a date for that rule, implementation of the rule, which is so many days later. As soon as it goes into effect, there'll be a lawsuit immediately, which will stop it from going into effect. And then these lawsuits will have to wind their way through the courts, and that is going to take even more time. DOT demanded the co-driver bring in his logbook after I told him I would bring it in. So that means if they're going to do an inspection, that your co-driver then has to put that on their log, because they're going to write that down at the scale. So that paperwork is going to have to match. So that doesn't make any sense. Well, Bill, enjoyed the show. Thanks for the entertainment. Okay, I appreciate it. I'll take entertainment. I'll take it. And I appreciate you being here and putting a picture there. James Faust, DOT in each state does what they want when they want. Yeah, and arguing with the guy is probably not going to be the great idea either, right? Hey, you don't have any right to do that. Right, and that'll be the end of that. Then you're going to be like that guy from a few weeks ago that went through that Border Patrol checkpoint. I prefer not to answer. Look, sir, if you'll just answer the question. I prefer not to answer that question. I thought, all right, here it goes. Right, and sure enough, 5 minutes later, the window's being broken. The barbecue truck or the truck leaning on curves bothered me the most. Felt like we were going over. Oh, that's true too. So you take a curve, you're starting to lean over. Oh, we're turning over. I'm dead again. Not from a bump. This time I rolled over and I'm probably going to die in a gigantic fire. Oh, 3 seconds later, well, not on fire. I'm probably okay. Back to sleep for what? 47 seconds. Hit a bump. You're awake. I'm dead. You cannot do that over a week's time. There's no way anybody could tell me they get just as good a sleep. You can't. And the roads are horrible. There's hardly any good roads to drive on. Indiana is probably the best roads in the country, which I'm sure we all agree with. We have some of the finest roads here, and they're still a little bit bumpy. But certainly some of them really, really bad. Stephen Bond is there from Albany, New York. What is happening in the capital up there, huh? Near Albany, near Binghamton, Buffalo, and New York City, right? I don't know. I went to public school. I don't know any of these things. But I appreciate you coming in. Do you team Stephen Bond? I'd like to know that, right? And where's my team driver from at 35 cents? That I think that disappeared too, right? Once we figured that out. That is way low, right? The barbecue trucker, look, every 50 seconds to probably 3 minutes you're awake. Was my experience in it. Because I'm never happy with the person driving. I don't know what's going on up there. And so you are just up all the time. And I think it's dangerous. I really do. And certainly in training, you can't go to sleep and train somebody. Rhino, teaming isn't training. No, you can't sleep and train people. Otherwise, I could do it. Why can't I train every driver in the country here? Okay, and I just put out one blast email. Start driving. And then I just go to bed. Why? Isn't that the same thing? I'm not there. The trainer's sleeping. What's the difference? So no way. And usually when in a training situation, what does the trainer do? You're driving at night. I'm driving during the day. That's the first thing you do. You're going to be driving all night. First, you're going to start at 8, 10 p.m. and drive through the whole night. And then the trainer's going to be up driving all day. No way, man. It's tough doing that. I drive at night all the time, and I have for a long time, and it's still sometimes you get tired at the end of the night. Somebody just starting out who is not used to being up all night and driving and everything. Oh my gosh, by 1 a.m. you're like, you're slapping yourself to stay awake. I got to stay up. I got to stay awake. Right. Pouring Red Bull on your head and everything. No way. Amanda, I-80 in Pennsylvania is a backbreaker. Yes. Way worse than Indiana. Drove team for PIE. Wow. Years ago and made big money. Yeah, that's when PIE paid good, right? Everybody remembers the PIE. There's a PIE trailer somewhere on 70 in somebody's backyard. I remember it. It's all faded. I saw it back there. I thought, oh, look at a PIE trailer. Awesome. I don't know where they bought it from or whatever. It looks like it's been sitting in their yard for decades. And that was good money then and teaming, but you got paid really well. I still couldn't do it. The pay doesn't matter. I got to get some kind of sleep. By the end of the week, I haven't slept. I probably slept 5 hours by Thursday. That's not great. Certainly not safe. Nathan, before you're in the field, you ran team for TSMT. All right. The good times, not SLT days. We had a W9. Sweet. 330-inch wheelbase. Wow. Oh, wow. That's longer than this thing. That's longer than the Aerodyne. It's the only way I could do it. You honestly didn't feel the road. Well, it's something gigantic like that. I'm still nervous. Any kind of bump, though, I just would make me nervous. I just couldn't stand it. It's just not something I could do. But like Clint Eastwood says, right, a man's got to know his limitations. Remember that? So once you know your limitations, you don't do that anymore. Hey says, how do you decide should you drive or stay in the truck stop when in winter snow? Depends on how heavy it is. Depends on you. Seriously. I mean, if you think that it's unsafe, you should pull over. And if the road's closed by law, certainly you should always pull over if it's recommended by the police or whatever. But if you believe it's unsafe based on your skills and the truck you have, then you need to park. Because you see people driving doesn't mean that they're being safe. Maybe they're being unsafe. Maybe they don't get paid enough, and so they're driving. They should work somewhere else that pays them better. But it is seriously, it's a personal you thing. If you think it's not safe, you park, whatever that is. It doesn't matter what it is. You just park and say, it's not safe out there. And your company should back you up. Any good company would back you up. The barbecue trucker, that's why I quit training at CFI. Did most of my sleeping in the passenger seat. Oh, why are you sleeping in the passenger seat? Do they not let you at least go in the sleeper? If roads are open, you better be rolling, says Rhino. Let's not do that, Rhino. That's for you. The rest of us get to park and get paid. Death, I slept through a tornado before. Well, you probably do good teaming. Wild Bill says, the Pacific Intermountain Express, PIE trailer. Stephen Bond, I drive solo. Just got done with a run from Colorado to Maine. Wow. Picked up in Massachusetts on your way to Wisconsin. Sweet. Don't get up to Maine too often. Remember Preston, the 151 line? Oh, right. The 151 line. Those are blasts from the past. You ran with the same partner for the long time. That probably helps a lot too, right? I still don't think I could do it. I knew my partner at BP, and I just couldn't do it, which was Amoco then. Preston 151. You won't drive teams. I won't do it at all now. Even when one of these guys here goes on vacation, I'm like, no. I don't. And sometimes they'll put a sign-up sheet. Hey, who wants to drive a team this week and make more money? It's sheet blank, cricket sounds, cobwebs on it. Remember training students? I'm new to the show. If you did, yes. Oh, yeah, I've trained tons of students. I worked at a truck school in Chicago. The school that I actually went to, I actually ended up working there. Years later, I've trained many people here. Yeah, and I love training people because I think that training people is life-changing for them. I see it as I'm going to change somebody's life because I see that they've come from, maybe they didn't have a job or they were making $10 an hour or something. I'm like, look, we're going to train you here and get you ready, and you're going to go out and have a career. It's you're changing somebody's life. And if more trainers saw it like that, I think they'd be better trainers, and students would stick around longer. If they had a trainer that didn't just see the student as a money dollar sign walking in the truck, right? That's not a dollar sign to you. That's somebody whose life you're going to change, right? Provide value to that person, right? And the money comes later in some other ways, but provide the value to that student. Change their life. Go change their lives. I love doing it. I love it. Barbecue trucker couldn't sleep in the sleeper. It's crazy, isn't it? Just wondering when you started the live show and what made you decide. I like it. It's great. Just being nosy, says Clay. Well, I started the live show thanks to Jay at Auto Transport Intel, which is why I still rep out here for his show here, which you should watch, right? Every 8 p.m. Central. So years ago, look, like I've been on here. When Trucking Answers was a little tiny channel, which not like it's any kind of huge channel like Taylor Swift or anything. But Jay contacted me to come on his show. And it was really small channel, right? And I went on there and Jay's like, look, you should do a live show. Because he was doing a live show even then. This is, a year and a half ago. And he goes, do a live show every week. Right? People will love it. And I'm like, no, who's going to watch me? And I'm like, and so I did it the first show, and there were like a couple of people, 4 or 5 people watching me, and I've done it ever since. And then Jay's like, do it every week at the same time so people know when it's going to be, because it would just be random times. So now it's every Monday at 1 p.m., and I love doing it. I think it's the greatest thing ever. Jay is like a genius and encouraged me very much to do it, which I thank him very much for whenever I can. But that's why I do the live show, and I figure I can get some information out there. We can have a chat about trucking. We'll learn some stuff. I learn way more about all this stuff than I give out, believe me. So I love doing it, and I couldn't be happier doing it, really. I'm grateful that anybody comes to it. By the way, I don't say that enough. That there's anybody here at all is super grateful, and it really makes me humble. I've talked to my wife about this many, many times, that I just can't believe that anybody shows up to watch little old me and Gracie and Bridget on the show. So I thank you all for being here. Snow's falling hammered down. Right, there are less people on the road. I'm not one of those super truckers out there, okay? I'll drive around in some snow, but if it gets crazy, let's get it parked here. Why do trucks not all have heated wiper blades too? What is going on? They have them on cars now. My car has heated wiper blades. Why do we not have heated wipers on semis? Joe, I had crazy co-driver brake hard every time he pulled in the fuel island. He also get you by the throat one night. Cripes. I grabbed your tire thumper, told him to take his best shot. What the heck is going on? What kind of teaming is this? Joe says no more teaming. This shouldn't be a fight. A T-man. Hey, everyone. Green behind the ears. No problem. Almost a new driver once I get hired somewhere in Arizona. All right. Where are you going to go in Arizona? Somewhere close to your house, I hope? The barbecue trucker. You love it? I appreciate that. Well, Bill, when is my next live appearance? My next live appearance will be on this show next Monday at 1 p.m. Big, huge Mike likes the show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And a lot of important information. I learn as much as I give out. Certainly, everybody tells me something new every week. And I appreciate learning about what everybody else does too, really. And my live appearance next in person, I guess, will probably be at the truck show in March in Louisville. That's what I have planned next. We'll see how that goes. But we'll see if there's something other trucking thing coming up. Maybe I think there's a Super 10 convention, but I don't think it's up until like 2029. The trucks are on the way right now. So I think it's planned for later this decade. I'm not sure when it was going to have to check on the date of that. We'll see what they have to say about that. That might be the next chance to get in on it, though. But as that goes, I'm going to wrap it up here as I have to go make my company some money. So that will be great. Well, Bill, no, in person. So, yeah, I think the truck show, right, in March is the next big thing going on. There's not too many other truck things happening in the winter here in the Midwest as we get all packed in for snow, even though it's 90 degrees out today. And humid, by the way, too. And somebody get on this heated wiper blade thing. It just aggravates me. As winter comes up, I got to go bang the ice off my wipers every 10 minutes. Get these wiper blades heated like they are in a car, for God's sakes. If I can have a car with heated wiper blades, why doesn't my $100,000 truck have it? Yikes. Just admit you're the CEO of Trucking Answers Conglomerate, Fortune 500. Yeah, that would be really something. Wow, that would be super awesome. Yeah, me. Here's the workers too. Right, here's one worker in this, and here's the other worker right there. Right, and she's only a temp. Bridget's just a temp. So she won't only be here till next year at some point. James Faust, thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. And we'll see you in a week, of course. Wicked TV dinner. Arizona new driver. Are you on contract? Yeah. I wonder if he is on contract yet. J. James, pictures and autograph table. Oh, absolutely right. Autographs, $80, just like Shatner at the Star Trek conventions, which is another aggravating thing to me. Thanks, Fleet Nav Systems. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Big, huge Mike. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Last Christmas, I did a cameo. I did. That's a good idea. It was warm last Christmas. I did the live show in Gary last Christmas. I dropped the wife off and then drove over to the truck stop and did a live show from the back of the family escape there but it was like 60 degrees or whatever. We'll see how the weather goes this year. That's not a bad idea. AZ, thanks for being here. Sam, thank you for coming in. Barbecue Trucker, I always appreciate seeing you. Rhino, Nonsense Motivational Persuader. Yeah, I'd love if somebody needs a speaker, I'm available for your next event. Clay, Gracie could be the dispatcher. At least she'd be more honest than most of the dispatchers, I'll say that. As long as you fed her, you'd probably get good loads, I think. Give her some treats or whatever, right? I think that'd be the way to do it. Stephen Bond, thanks for coming in, and I appreciate you being here. Death Proof, who slept through a tornado, gets the award for Best Sleeper of the Year. Amanda, thanks for coming in. And the Preston 151 line, that is really something, right? I have forgotten all about all these older companies, which we should do a show about. What's the oldest, remember all the old trucking companies or something like that. Teroni, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. James, thanks for doing this show and you enjoy the channel. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for everybody for being here. I love doing it, really do. And for watching the videos and everything. I appreciate it. What do I know about Carvana? Dirt Dog. Well, I tell you, I don't know that much about Carvana. I know I wouldn't buy a car from them because you can't test drive your car there. And you can't do anything to the car until they deliver it to your house or you pick it up at one of those vending machines. So I'm not buying a car that way. I don't do that. But if you want to know about hauling for Carvana, I think I know who we could talk to about that. How about that? Jay at Auto Transport Intel live at 8 p.m. tomorrow, right? Thank you, Jay. Jay also was on the show today. Thank you for being here. Don't forget GP Transco. We never mention them enough. We should always remember GP Transco if you need a good job. And as always, wear a Blue Parrot. If if you need a good headset, Blue Parrot is the one to wear. So that will keep you legal on the road. Right. A T-Man, we just got your CDL, looking to move out to the Arizona. All right. Chrome Daddy, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Wicked TV Dinner. Mark's Productions. All right. Yeah, we will look that up. And thanks for being here. So I'm going to head out to the company and get them some money, unfortunately. But that is what we all have to do. Be safe this week out there, all right? And send me all your missives to my email, anything else that you have going on, and we'll see you in a week. Thanks for coming.